All right. Hello again, everybody, and welcome to another exciting episode of. Well, normally this would be the Tyranny of Dragons, but these guys have been playing together for over a year. Hooray! So this is my crazy one shot that's based on Final Fantasy. I totally just realized I hadn't muted my my Twitch stream. So in like 2 seconds, you guys were going to start hearing me going, hello. Did I not transition correctly? No, I did it right.
It's been a while.
Sorry, no, I'm watching the stream and I'm doing this at the same time, and it's not working the way it's supposed to. And hi, everybody. It's been a long day, and it just started. There we go. Now I've got image. All right, so this is kind of a weird D&D game that I've been thinking about running a campaign like this, but is based on Final Fantasy, and you'll see a lot of references to that. And it's silly and it's weird and it breaks D&D completely. So, yeah. To bring you guys up to speed, the characters you see before you all came from around the world to see what's happening in the kingdom of Tycoon, where the wind crystal is located, because the wind had been acting weird. And when they finally got to the shrine where the wind crystal was, the crystal itself shattered. Which seemed like a really bad thing, because without the wind crystal, there's no wind. You know, birds will fall out of the sky, you know, ships can't sail, stuff like that, because there's no wind to propel them. But the crystals gave the characters the ability to use their powers, and now they can have the spirits of legendary warriors they can use those spirits to fight and do things cool. And then they fought a sphinx, which is kind of cool. And now they're trying to figure out a way to get to Walls, which is the kingdom that protects the water crystal. An attempt to get there before the machines that have been built by some inventor in Karnak, the Fire Kingdom. They're trying to get to the other crystals before the machines meant to amplify their powers destroy all of them. So, you guys most recently left the Wind Shrine. You headed for this small port city. It took you the better part of like a day and a half to get there, because it was relatively far away. Normally travel between like the shrine and the whole area is done by ship, and it's relatively fast. But none of the ships can sail anymore, because the wind crystal has been destroyed and there's no wind to power these ships to fill their sails. So people are already starting to go, this is a bad thing. So you guys have made it to this port city. What would you like to do?
You need to find out if there are any boats that are working.
I guess I can do this. There we go. Just to set the mood. All right, so
You should ask around at the docks.
all right, so as you guys ride into town, you see the town itself seems kind of strange. You can see a lot of people there look wrong, is really the best way to say it. There's something wrong with them. You're not really sure what it is. And as you get closer, you start to realize that something has happened that has made it very difficult for these people to stay upright. It looks like their coordination is off. Just something is affecting them rather significantly.
My perfectly legitimate medical opinion. They are just drunk. Let's go.
As you get closer, you smell the very strong, familiar scent of alcohol.
I was right? I was not supposed to be right. What is this?
You see a large portion, a large portion of the dock workers are just drunk off their asses, and they're not like, silly drunk or anything. Like, this is sad, like upset drunk.
Not the type of drunk I like. I need to be drunk for this, and I pull out a flask and I start drinking.
Why is the rum always gone?
I will be right back, guys. I have to take care of something really, really quick, but talk amongst yourselves.
Okay. I refilled the 2 flasks we emptied the last session, so I'm up to 5 again.
Now's the perfect time to interact with NPCs when you can't retaliate. I mean, what?
That is true.
Go through all the shops, break all the pots.
Steal all the potions.
Wrong world.
I know it's the wrong world. It would have been weird if he had us play. Basically, make 4 fighters, all wearing color-coded uniforms, and we're playing 4 swords.
Nice.
Play what?
Legend of Zelda 4 Swords.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
The entire time he was gone, I'm taking the pulse of the guy to make sure I was right.
All right.
Quick, act innocent.
So, sorry about that. Trouble in paradise. So what have you decided you guys want to do?
We're supposed to do that.
You mean we're supposed to be productive?
I grab one of the sailors and cast Lesser Restoration.
He turns into Lester.
Sober him up and be like, what's going on? Why? Is there a festival in town?
Sam Hill, what in the hell are you doing? My name's Lester, and
That's so good. I have Lester Restoration. It will restore you.
that is pretty damn good. Well, one of the things you realize is this is not a sailor, nor are any of the people strewn around the docks. These are just plain and simple dock workers. Probably haven't spent a ton of time at sea. They work the docks. He turns to like, well, see, about a day and a half, maybe 2 days ago, we're sitting here and we're unloading a ship, and then the wind dies down, and we didn't think anything of it. I mean, wind dies down ever so often, but this was like not just like the wind going soft. I mean, this is like there's no wind nowhere. Really quickly, guys, if you go to the settings menu, there should be an option to turn off enabled background chat beep. Unselect that, because every time you guys say something in chat, it beeps in my ears, and it beeps for the audience. So just go to settings and click on enabled background chat beeps and disable that. So that way you guys can talk when you need to, and it doesn't sound like I'm randomly just going beep, beep. All right, sorry, just to get that out of the way. So he goes, yeah, but it's not like it's not like a normal wind. Like the wind's just gone. And at first it was only gone for like an hour, and then another hour passed and there's nothing, and another hour passed and there's nothing. Like y'all can see out there, and he points out, and you guys can see probably maybe a mile or two out, because it's the water, and you've got pretty good visibility from where you are. You see a ship just sitting out there. He goes, that ship's been sitting there the entire time. We haven't had really like a tugboat that really wanted to go all the way out there and tug it in over a mile. So, yeah, we just been, sitting here, and then we started realizing rumors started coming around, and they said that, that the wind crystal's done gone and just been destroyed. And that means there's never going to be no more wind. And that means, like, our jobs are basically gone. And so, the ship that was here, it was supposed to leave and go to Tycoon Castle with some booze. We decided that booze ain't never going to get there. And, it'd be sure a heck of a waste if it just never got there and never did nothing with it. And so, since it's never going to get there, we just decided, let's use it. I mean, our lives are over, the world's gonna end, because, how in the world are you supposed to, have interstate trade when there ain't no wind? So yeah, we're drunk as a skunk. How y'all doing?
Have no fear. We shall remedy this problem.
You should, you look awful weird. You know that? I ain't never seen nobody that look like you before.
That's because there are a few men like me.
Sure, we'll go with that one. That's fine. I just figured you were a hallucination because I've been drinking too much. But he comes over and he kind of just like pokes you in the face. You look real enough. I mean, I had illusions before, and they never did that, and they never once, made me hangover and made me get undrunk. In fact, I'm gonna go back to drinking because I'm not feeling that buzz as much anymore. Y'all have a good time now. And he starts wandering off.
I mean,
I was debating whether or not to mess with him, but moving along.
if
We'll gust of
If I-
wind here and there.
just estimating in my normal form, so I'm not that great. It's about a mile off, you said?
Ish. It's hard to gauge distance over the water.
All right.
It's far. It's far enough away that it's very small, and from the basic shape of the ship that it's a very big ship. So.
I just wanted to know if I was moving at like double speed, because could I get there in 10 minutes?
Well, a mile is 5,280 feet. So, let's see. 1 minute is 10 rounds. So 100 times double your speed. Is that great in about 5,500 feet?
I mean, a 10-minute mile doesn't seem like that fast of a pace.
What's your swimming speed?
Well, no, if I casted fly on myself and I moved 120 feet around.
Well, 100
This is way too much math for D&D.
times 120 would be about 10,000 feet. So you could make it there and back in 10 minutes. However, you really wouldn't have a whole lot of time to stop and say anything.
Yeah.
Like you get there and go, "Hey guys," and then fly back.
Write a note and leave a note with him.
What do you all want to do? I'd say as I take another swig of my flask.
Why don't everybody give me perception checks?
Sure. I'm in my normal form, so it's a straight roll.
Yeah, me too.
15.
Natural 20!
Natural 1 with a 0 modifier.
A 10.
23.
19.
Because I am transformed into Cleric Man.
I see
am glad.
everything.
You see the Matrix. You see these little letters and numbers just falling from the sky.
Yay!
So those of you that got above a 15,
I got a 15.
a 15 or higher, start to notice something strange. You see some movement on the horizon from the ocean. And as you focus on it a little bit more, you kind of get everyone else, and it's a ship that's moving without any wind. And it's moving fast. It actually gets up, and you guys can see it overtakes the ship that's already out there. And you guys, again, it's far enough away that you can't really see what's going on. But as you're sitting there kind of watching, after about 20, 25 minutes, you start seeing smoke rising from the second ship. And then you start seeing fire on the second ship. And you see, or the ship that's just been sitting there, I mean. And you see the ship that can somehow move without wind start moving away and start coming towards the port city as the other ship slowly sinks.
That's not good.
Pirates.
While everyone else was noticing that, I was back with our sailor friend, just drinking with him. That probably explains my natural 1.
Yeah, go ahead and roll me a Constitution saving throw.
On low.
Already drunk.
Oh, of course, natural 20, really?
With disadvantage due to the fact
Okay.
that he's helping you to drink.
Okay, 3, that's much better.
You are off your head drunk.
The doctor's drunk.
However, you have learned a lot about the art of working a dock and just how much work goes into it and the history of dock workers in this particular town, and his family's been dock workers for like 7 generations, and you are almost an expert on dock work.
And all in 10 minutes.
Yeah, it's really impressive. The guy talks fast.
Smashing that X button.
Yeah. So, what do you guys want to do? You can see the ship that's moving without wind is heading towards the docks at a pretty rapid pace.
As soon as I
Probably
see
be
that,
here within the next 10 minutes.
I put the flask down, I take out my crystal, and I turn into Ernest.
Okay. So you guys watch Carrick morph and change, and which one is Ernest?
A Goliath wizard.
See him grow really, really tall, and then these robes sprout out. Full-on Sailor Moon transformation.
I also changed back into the Horladin Ray. Yes, I've merged Hor Paladin into Horladin.
Okay. You see a very scantily clad. You know how people always complain about female armor in MMOs?
Ray embraces it.
Yeah. Doesn't cover anything vital whatsoever. Basically a plate mail bikini.
But it looks good.
It chafes something fierce though.
Just say that's kind of chafe.
Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
So what do the rest of you guys do?
I'll go ahead and turn into the druid.
Okay. Antlers
I
sprout.
already am my cleric self.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll do this in my role.
All right. What about? Is there anything else you guys want to do? Just want to kind of stand on the docks waiting for these pirates.
I suppose.
I'll actually. I'm going to be beast shape and turn to an eagle, and try to get higher and get a better view of it.
Okay. Go ahead and roll me a perception check with advantage.
Come on, better than that. Oof. What do I add for it? I forgot the eagle's perception.
I have no idea.
Oh.
Add. What was your roll?
16.
Yeah, you're great. Let's
How
call
big is this boat?
Well, Samuel has the best view of it. From what you can tell, it's smaller than the boat that was out there, and it's smaller than the one that's currently moored at the docks. It looks to be built for speed. Samuel, as you kind of look down from above, you do see it has a mast. It does have sails and things like that, but currently these sails are tied down and everything like that, so that they're not really being used. But it's moving remarkably fast, faster than most like really big sailing, like 5-mast or 3 or 5-mast ships that have really high top speeds. This could probably overtake them without too much difficulty whatsoever. Really?
I think you meant Chiron, because I'm still drunk with our sailor friend.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, Chiron, not
Sorry.
There's so many names in your new characters, and I don't know.
I was like, drunk
Like
vision
your
open.
your lips aren't moving, so I can't tell. So anyway, Chiron, from up above, you can see it's got a pretty decent sized crew. You can see on the deck itself, you can see probably close to at least half a dozen to a dozen men on the deck, and then you can also see one person that is dressed much nicer than the rest of them. Like the rest of them are in, tunics and pants and deck boots and things like that, and this other one is in this kind of almost military-looking coat. With long purple hair that covers half of his face, and looks like he's got a rather decorated sword on his hip. You get the idea that that's probably the dude in charge.
Are there any cannons up on top, or are they all hidden below?
You don't see any cannons.
Okay. All right. Well, I'll go back down to the group and turn back into the druid, not trying to talk an eagle, and tell them what I saw.
Interesting.
Now, do any of you guys? Is anyone from the Kingdom of Walls?
I am.
Okay.
Or my alter ego, John.
Oh, I am too. Yeah.
So you two would both be familiar with ships in general because it's such a large part of your culture. You know that a ship this size, the ship itself, the kind of class of ship is called an interceptor. It's designed to be very fast and maneuverable, and it generally runs a much smaller crew than like a galleon or something like that. But generally, it's crewed by about 30 men. So what you saw on the deck probably is not the entire crew complement.
Did they look? I turned to Chiron. Did they look hostile?
They weren't really hostile, were they?
They had weapons drawn.
Okay. Yeah, they were hostile.
You could see a few of them. A few of them had bottles with rags stuck in the end of them.
Oh, they had Molotovs.
Okay. I
You
walk
think
out to
that
the
might
end.
be how they set fire to the other ship.
Yeah.
Are they coming at the dock?
Yeah, they're about 5 minutes away now.
I walk out to the end of the dock and roll up my sleeves.
Okay. You guys watch as John, as John just moves forward, rolls up his chainmail sleeves, which takes a lot more effort than he initially thinks. And so he's sitting, and by the end, like, you can see his arm is starting to turn a little bit red because it's cutting off the circulation. He's breathing a little heavier.
All right, forget that. I 5 minutes out. I'm gonna wait till they're about 30 seconds away.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to cast Control Water, and basically pick a point out there, and just part the water in front of the boat at the last second.
Okay. So, you guys see John is sitting there using this brand new thing that none of you guys have ever dealt with before, called magic, and he's obviously doing something, but it's going to take him a couple minutes to do it, seeing as you're waiting until they're about 30 seconds away. What are the rest of you guys doing while he does this? Samuel, you are still super, super drunk.
Is there like a building nearby that is really close to the water?
There's what you would assume is like the dock office, and it's connected to kind of like a warehouse type thing. That's the door is wide open right now. The door itself, you could easily drive 3 wagons side by side through this doorway. It's just this very, very big doorway, you assume, to facilitate lots of traffic through it to load and unload ships very quickly. So that's the closest building, and it's probably maybe 100 feet away from the water itself.
Well then, I suppose I'm just gonna post up like 20 feet from the water and just wait because I'm not leaving John.
Okay.
Does anybody think this is a bad idea before I do this?
What are you planning to do? I didn't hear.
Yeah, man.
I have this feeling I can part the water and make this boat just drop.
I mean, I may be drunk right now, but won't that hurt the ship?
Maybe I can control it so that it's more of a gentle floop and not quite sailing off the edge of the world.
I'm sorry, a more gentle what?
A more gentle floop. So that the boat will just like fall and hit the bottom and not be able to move anymore. And then I can hold the water over them.
The boat is now 2 minutes away.
So then I can just hold the water over them.
Or maybe I could fly back out there and see and talk to them first. I don't know. It seems kind of dangerous.
Turn to the dock worker and say, "Do you understand a word he said?" Because I didn't.
That guy just turned into a bird. Do you know how free screwed up that is, man? Like, he was just there, and then he had feathers. I don't know what the hell is going on.
John, just you focus on that. Just realize I'm going to be over here, and I'm going to start running to the water, and as I'm jumping in midair, I cast Alter Self and give myself gills.
Okay, so you watch Eric take a running leap. Roll me an acrobatics check.
Cannonball!
What do I have in acrobatics?
Oh wait,
15.
So you go out and you guys watch as he kind of jumps into the air, rolls into a ball, kind of twirls a little bit, and then does a perfect swan dive as gills appear on his neck. And I think that also gives you swim speed, right?
Yeah, my walking speed.
So yeah, now you're underwater and you can kind of see what's going on. You can see. Actually, roll me a perception check with disadvantage. Seeing as it's really, really close.
13. Perception, that is a 16.
16, okay. So you see this right as John starts enacting his plan. John, I need you to make me a spell attack roll, if you will.
oh I shall. I add stuff to that.
Probably a
11.
spell attack bonus. Okay.
11.
So you guys watch as John goes out, does his best Moses impression. Let my dock not be attacked by pirates. And he sits there and he points his hand, and you guys watch as the water, probably about 100 feet in front of the ship, starts to part and starts to just rush to the side and creates this opening all the way down to the sandy ground below it. And Carrick, right as you see the water start to move, you figure out how the ship is moving, because you get face to face with a giant sea serpent dragon type creature that is attached to the ship via chains. And as the water disappears and you see where the ship, just before the ship is about to enter your area of no water, you see this giant reptilian serpent-like creature jump out of the water, jump over your little area, carrying the ship behind it and slamming to the ground as all the pirates kind of hold on. And then it kind of drift turns the boat into the dock and the pirates start rushing off. And you hear the captain go, "Yar! Get that one there for questioning!" And points at John. And with
Wait, that one there for...
Questioning.
Yeah.
Bring it.
That was the wrong one.
Sweet, you won!
Oh man,
Uh,
so many memories.
So I'd like everyone to go ahead and roll initiative for me.
Do I have disadvantage for being drunk?
Nah.
Okay, well, it's terrible anyway.
I figured I really didn't need to help you do poorly. All right, Carrick, what do you got?
18.
All right, John,
13.
Arian,
18.
Samuel,
3.
Zoe,
23.
Chiron.
14.
All right. Oh crap! Where did my dice go? There they are.
We win. Oh.
I had to take a test, and they watched me take the test to make sure I'm not cheating, and I couldn't really explain why I had dice on my table, so I had to remove them. All right, in the interest of time, because there's a lot of story to tell, I'm going to call this a narrative battle, where basically we're not really going to be rolling attack rolls and damage and all that stuff. You guys are going to describe what you want to do to try and deal with this situation. I will make you roll something to see how successful you are, and then we will move on to the next person. So, Carrick and Arian, you guys are actually Zoe is first. So, Zoe, what do you want to do? You
okay.
see pirates are pouring off this ship. The captain of the ship hasn't really gotten off, but he's moved to the bow of the ship, close enough to the dock that if he wanted to, he could just jump off onto the dock.
Okay, I'm gonna cast Hunter's Mark on him.
Okay.
And just kind of have him in the back of my head, and then whatever one of the pirates that's closest to me, I'm just gonna use my movement, run up and hit him with my great sword, Hope's End. Yeah, that's my plan.
And what is your intention with this attack? Are you going to sever him in half? Are you going to knock him into the water? What are you thinking?
I'm feeling like I should shoot for a decapitation.
Okay. Make me an attack roll.
Hold, please. 22.
All right, so you rush up. You start by concentrating on the captain. You kind of point at him and utter your the arcane words necessary to mark him as a target in your mind. And something about him seems slightly off. You're not sure what it is, but now you have this kind of mental focus on him. Something about him seems weird. But you push that out of your mind as you run forward, taking your great saw, attacking the first guy you come to. He brings up his scimitar to block it. You bat it away, and with the same momentum, take his head clean off as he drops to the ground. Carrick and Arian, you guys are going to act simultaneously.
All right.
Carrick, you are underwater, and you are looking at a very large reptilian, almost dragon-like serpentine creature.
I point at it and I say, kitten, and I cast polymorph.
Okay. Arian, you have multiple pirates that are storming the docks. You have the captain on the ship. What are you thinking about doing?
Oh, Super Bowl captain.
Okay. So, I think it's a saving throw, right? Carrick, what's your spell save DC?
What is it? It's 20 plus 3, so 16?
There is a lovely kitten drowning in front of you.
I pick it up and I carry it out of the water so it doesn't transform back. And so I just have like a hand above the water with a kitten there.
Tries batting at you. Arian, as you shoot the bolts with blinding speed, the rapier comes out of the captain's sheath, and actually, do you use a short bow, crossbow? What do you use?
Super Bowl.
Okay, and actually cuts the arrow in half before it gets to him, and he just kind of stares you down. Then you hear him go, "Yar! Get that one too!" That brings us to Chiron. There are pirates, there's a pirate captain, there's the people on the docks. What do you want to do? And again, this is cinematic, so as opposed to going, well, I cast this, describe what you're doing. I run up, and then magic flows, and this happens.
Since we have such a lovely group right next to the water, I'm going to call lightning the group of pirates.
Okay, and
Try and
again, cinematic. How does this work? The clouds appear, and then it hits the water. Or what? How exactly do you want this to work? The more descriptive you get, the more useful it's going to be. Otherwise, this is just going to be one pirate at a time dying, and there's 30 of them. They will probably kill you first.
Oh man, I wanted to chain between them all, since they're. I'm assuming they're all close in a group, right?
Sure, that's what you want.
Yeah. Oh, so I wanted to come down and hit in the middle and just kind of spread out through all of them and arc and get them as much as I could.
Okay, so you guys watch as Chiron comes out and starts concentrating in the clouds, become darker and darker, and you guys start to smell the very familiar smell of that heavy humidity right before rain happens. And right now there are no clouds in the sky at all, so this is very, very weird, this very localized cloud disturbance. And Chiron comes over, and to give you an example of how you might achieve something like this, there is a bottle, or there is a barrel of water that you assume more likely than not they keep fish in or something like that. When it's necessary right now, it's just kind of sitting there. You shoulder check the water into this group of people, and as they get covered in water, the lightning bolt comes down and the water makes it conduct to all of them, and 5 of the pirates fry. That ends your turn. John, what would you like to do? And again, cinematic.
So the boat is no longer in the water, right?
No, the boat's in the water.
on the
It
dock.
jumped over your little hole you made and then landed in the water.
I look at that, go, shrug, drop control, drop that. I latch onto my holy symbol. I focus on. I take my hammer and I thrust it up into the sky, grabbing the lightning that's there, and I just point at the group that's in front of me. And I use Channel Divinity at 4th level, and I eradicate them.
Okay. Go ahead and make me a straight up wisdom check.
Sorry?
Wisdom, just straight up D20 plus your wisdom mod.
Well,
A 1.
So that's 6.
Okay.
But I'm using Channel Divinity and Call Lightning at 4th level, so...
So as you sit here and you start to harness these powers that you have had for less than a day, or
that I did
or
use
for
already,
just slightly over a day, that you've been practicing with and everything, but you're still not 100% sure how it works. You sit there and you feel the divine energy start flowing through you. You raise the hammer up, and you can see lightning start to kind of come from clouds that have just formed, and it strikes the hammer and goes through your entire body as you get a rather brilliant shock that is strong enough that you just kind of turn around and you smack one of the people in front of you to get the lightning out of your body. But you do take 4 lightning damage and wipe out one of the pirates. As a slight miscalculation as to how to direct the lightning didn't work quite the way you wanted it to. That brings us to the pirates. The pirates come, and the first thing they do is they try to tackle John. So, John, I need you can use athletics or acrobatics as they try and dogpile you.
All right. Yeah. No, I got a 6 again.
Luckily enough, that's what I got.
So the
tie
closest
technically
one
means your whatever the situation was before the encounter is what it stays at. So
okay.
They all go for it.
Sorry, I use my reaction, and one of them takes 2d8 thunder
don't
damage.
Even worry about that. So you get 5 guys that all jump on you, and you still have a little bit of lightning inside you. They all kind of get you and are trying to drag you down. You just go, and they all get blown back with a fury of lightning. A few more head over to who was it? Was it Kyron that did the call lightning?
Yeah, that's me.
All right. A few more come over and they try to tackle you. Again, athletics or acrobatics. God, I cannot. I don't think there's double digits on my D20.
One of those old school double D10s. You just didn't know it.
21.
Yeah, they come over. The first guy comes over and you just stand there as he runs into you and then falls to the ground. And you just kind of look down at him. And the rest just kind of take a step back a little bit. The rest just kind of prepare themselves on the dock and start surrounding you guys to get you into a rather unfortunate position. Samuel, you notice that they haven't really been paying attention to you at all because you look as drunk as the dock hands. So,
to show them the power of drunkenness, I use my bonus action to become the monk, and like Jackie Chan in Drunken Master, I run up to the big pirate guy and just start punching him. And the first one I want to be a stunning strike.
So
the boss, the captain.
You have basically 20 pirates between you and the captain.
Oh.
Describe how you're going to get past them to get to the captain. Again, think of this as an action movie. What are you
So,
gonna do?
like, like Assassin's Creed style, trying to blend in but drunk, just walking through them while I'm still myself, apologizing as I go through all of them, and then when I get past them, transform into the little gnome.
Okay. Make me a performance check.
Okay. Oh, thank God. This is with Sam's stats, I take it. So, 17.
All right. So you guys watch as Sam gets up, and he kind of walks over to a pirate and puts his arm around him and goes, "I love you so much." And the pirate just pushes him off, and he gets knocked into another one. He's like, "I'm so sorry, guys. This is not a steady dock. This is not okay. This is not up to code. I got a guy who come out here to fix everything. Don't you worry." And he just keeps going and like bumping into people and coming up, and you can see the pirates are pushing him away, and he eventually gets to the back of it, and you see his mannerisms change as he kind of sways a little bit and then falls backwards towards the gangplank. And as he hits hard, like you guys hear it, he changes into this tiny halfling who takes the fall onto his shoulder, rolls, jumps up in the air, comes over and tries to make a strike. Go ahead and make an attack roll with disadvantage.
Oh, whew. +7, so 20.
All right. So as you're coming up, you come down to try and strike the captain, and you see the blade come up with blinding speed and start slashing at you. And you can still feel the alcohol in your body. And so as the blade starts to impact, you just go with the blade, because you realize that the captain isn't piercing you with the blade. He's actually slapping you with it in an attempt to kind of deter you from hitting. And so you take that and use that momentum to kind of shift and turn, and you come and smack the captain across the jaw with a rather strong strike. And you notice something very odd. When you strike the captain, the jaw is much thinner than you expected from a pirate captain. As you land, you realize that the coat is hiding and obscuring a rather petite frame. And as you see the captain wipe a little bit of blood off of her lip after you've just attempted to knock her out cold, she looks down at you with a very feminine smile and goes, "Yar, looks like I have a new friend." And she points her rapier at your throat, seemingly unaffected by your stunning strike.
I'll quickly say, I'll turn on them if you need me to. Just don't kill me.
As you say that, you look around and you see every pirate on the dock has stopped looking at anyone but you. And you can see a couple of them have gone a couple shades pale. And they're all just staring at you in utter disbelief. And quite a few of them look terrified at this particular point in time. Zoe, you've just seen this. Anything you want to do now?
I stop too and just look in awe, curiosity, and fear.
You see the captain now opens her jacket, and she's wearing pants and a relatively tight shirt that shows off her figure significantly better now that it's kind of been revealed. And she flourishes her sword, brings it around, and goes, "All right, boys, it looks like this might be decided with a good old-fashioned duel."
That's it.
Arian and Carrick. What do you guys want to do?
I put
Carrick,
the
you have a
kitten.
kitten.
I put the kitten in my satchel, and I start with like the head just poking out so that it can't claw at me, and then I start climbing up the side of the ship.
All right. You have no problem doing that, Arian. While he's doing that,
Roll the pirate around with the Samuel and the captain. I could walk up behind one of them, but they can't make it to our swimmer.
roll me a stealth check.
Alright. Oh. 17.
So very quietly, like you have 4 swords pointed at you, but no eyes looking at you. So very quietly, you just kind of step back, mosey on over to one, and just kind of tap it on his shoulder, going, "Wow, that's crazy, right?" And he kind of looks at you and goes, "Yeah, I know." Shh. And then he drops. And it seems like everyone else is still admiring whatever is happening with the captain right now to notice.
You're welcome, everyone.
Kyron, everyone is focused on the captain right now.
So I'm going to pull out my spear,
Uh-huh.
and I'm not throwing it, but I want to use it similar to the fashion of 300, the movie 300, and like I use it to take the feet out everyone and just start stabbing as I go. Try to take them out as keeping people on their ground as possible.
So you're basically going to take the spear and sweep their legs to knock them over?
Yes.
Okay. Make me an athletics check. Because there's a lot of them.
That would be a 19 plus 2, 21.
All right. So you sit there, and while there's a little bit of time, you take your spear out and just sweep it, and you knock down 4 of these guys before they even know what's happening. 3 others notice the movement and come over and start pointing scimitars at you, but they're having a hard time focusing on you when all this stuff is happening with the captain. That ends your turn. John, you have a couple sizzle ones laying in a pile in front of you, and right behind them you have ones that were formerly pointing, well, they're still pointing swords at you, but they're watching the captain right now.
All right, so this time I put my hammer down, grab my holy symbol, pray to my god, and then open my eyes and call the lightning bolt down with channel divinity.
Okay. Make me another just straight up spell attack.
Mother of 14.
14. Not bad. So you sit there, you call another lightning bolt down, you take out 3 more, but that's enough to get the rest of them around you to start closing in. You start noticing more pirates than you originally thought appearing on the ship. Just kind of coming out to look and see what's going on. The pirates get into positions where they're not exactly in danger, and they've got just about everybody covered by something, but none of them make any attacks. As the pirate's captain thrusts her coat back, revealing a small sword on her other hip that she takes out and flicks at Samuel, and then gets into a fighting stance.
Oh boy. Funny enough, I can actually use a short sword. Is it Maiko?
It is. What would you like to do? And
Are
again,
there any
cinematic?
Are there any shadows behind her?
You're on the deck of a ship, and it has kind of multiple levels. You have, like where you are, is kind of flat, and then you have the two ends that are about 10 feet up, with stairways going up on either end. One end has the helm at it. The other end is just the, is it the bow? I have to remember all my ship terms. Anyway, so there's shadows just about everywhere.
All right, I want to
From the
Point
mast,
bu-
from from the stairs, there's little bits of shadow everywhere.
if there's any like around here that I could teleport to before I want to point behind her and be like, "Oh my god, what is that?" And then teleport to a side she's not looking and then just slash punch.
Okay, so when you go, "Oh my god, what's that?" She's completely unfazed, and she actually looks a little bit kind of disappointed. And as she starts to go, "Really? Is that the best that you can?" Poof! You disappear, and you come up. Just make me an attack roll.
I have advantage, I believe is what it says.
Yeah.
Sure. Again, this isn't so much
Yeah.
combat as it is cinematic storytelling with a roll every so often. So
So it's a natural 20.
all right, so you come around, and as you disappear, you come around with the short sword, and you or the small sword technically, and you try and thrust it right between her ribs, and she comes in and she parries it, but not quite quick enough, and you slash it right across her side, and you can see a slight little cut, to which she kind of smiles, bemused. You come around with a punch, and you hit her clear on the jaw again, which she kind of takes, checks for blood, and then comes back with a flurry of attacks as you guys kind of dance across the deck of the ship, and you start noticing that she's incredibly acrobatic. As she starts by just a few thrusts and slashes at you, she suddenly jumps up onto the stairs nearby, going up to the helm to give herself the higher ground. And as she sits there making these attacks at you from a position of slight advantage with your height, she's making these attacks and stabbing at you, and then out of nowhere kind of does a cartwheel over you and attacks from above. What's your armor class?
17.
You have a high armor class. Well, you're level 8. I guess that makes sense. You take 3 points of damage as she somersaults over you and rolls a 1 on her damage dice. She gets a cut right at the base of your neck. She kind of nicks and kind of turns to you and gives you a quick wink and a smile. How do you want to respond to that?
I want to give her a wink back and then go prepare for the next round of attacks, I guess.
I'm going to say it's everyone else is dealing with pirates and kind of watching you. Like, everyone's watching you,
Okay.
so it's your turn. It's
Alright,
just
so-
you and her now.
I want to give her a little wink back, and then I'm just going to slash my sword towards her, the left part of her neck, while punching 3 other times in areas where she's not paying attention to the sword. So flurry of blows.
Okay. So she's faster than you were expecting her to be, and she's making these incredibly precise movements with the sword that you weren't expecting. And she's so much more familiar with her weapon than you are with yours. So you decide to counter her by using your incredible speed and your ability to technically attack from two different places by using the small sword and your fists and kicks simultaneously. So you come up and you come down with this overarching attack. Go ahead and make me an attack roll.
+7, so 21.
Okay, cool. So you come down with this overarching attack that she very easily just deflects away, and before she's even able to think, you see her just very cockily smile as she barely moves her sword blade to intercept yours, not seeing the sidekick come up and smash her in the ribs. As you see her kind of jut and cough a little bit, you come around and kick her at the back of her ankles, knocking her and sending her tumbling as she catches herself on one hand and kind of flips herself back up. And as she gets up, you land a knee right in her cheek that knocks her back again. And she rubs it for a little bit, checks her jaw, kind of looks at you with a little bit more respect. Goes, you notice that her voice changes now. She seemed to have been putting on an act before. She goes, well, this one certainly has some spunk in him, doesn't he, boys? And they go, all the pirates kind of cheer. Perhaps I should teach him a lesson now. And I'd like you to make a dexterity saving throw for me.
Is this AoE based? Because I'd have advantage. Or I have advantage,
not.
I mean. Okay. Plus
And as a
7.
monk,
Wow,
you wouldn't
okay.
have advantage, I don't think. Evasion.
No,
just-
I meant, half damage thing. Plus 7, so 25.
Okay. Before you can even think, you feel wetness on the side of your face, and you realize that she's cut a slash on your cheek, and you're bleeding a little bit. And that kind of wakes you up, and you bring the small sword up and start deflecting as much as you can. And you start realizing that with each parry and sidestep that you're making, you're keeping pace with her, but she's toying with you. You can see she has a control and an expertise far beyond what you have with the weapon that you're holding. Right now it looks like she's simply extending the fight. But you're adept enough at it, and your kind of martial focus, along with kind of the looseness that the alcohol has given you, makes it so she never actually lands a full blow. She thrusts and she cuts and things like that, and bits of your clothes start getting cut and things like that, and you have a few scratches that start to bleed, but nothing that does any real damage. And she seems somewhat impressed. What do you want to do now?
Do the same where I distract her with the sword and pummel 3 different locations to try and mix up my fighting tactics so she can't really predict effectively.
Okay. To give you some insight, since you are inhabiting the body of a fighter, someone who is very used to attacking, while your blows are landing and they are hurting her, you're getting the idea that beating her into submission by just punching her is not going to work. She seems like she's taking the blows in stride. Every time you hit, you don't hit like she knows how to kind of cushion the blow a little bit. So if you want to defeat her, you're going to have to be creative as opposed to just punch her until she stops moving.
Are there any... This is a normal boat with like the mast and the ropes to tie the sails, right?
Sure. Whatever you can think of on a boat. There are ropes, there are barrels. You see a cup with dice next to it. Apparently before they went, pirating, they were playing a dice game. What do you want to do? Think about everything. Be creative.
I want
Think
to
about what she's wearing, what she's using.
Might as well try it. I will pull out a rope that I have, tie a piece to a top part of the rope, and then I want to attempt to teleport behind her, put the rope around the neck, and then slice the bottom of the rope so that it just pulls her up.
Okay. You probably wouldn't have time to tie your own rope. But again, this is a ship. You can see quite a few different ropes that are holding up the sails and other things that are tied to belaying pins, which are designed that you just pull it out and it instantly undoes the knot. Like that's what they're designed to do. So go ahead and make me, let's call it an acrobatics check to see if you can get her kind of tangled up in the rope.
20.
Cool. So you sit there and you get this idea in your head, and so you start attacking her again with the small sword and coming up with these kicks, and now she's starting to anticipate the kicks coming, so she starts blocking and she starts bringing the sword up so that if you do kick her, you're actually going to cut your shin, or you're going to cut your foot, whatever thing is moving up. And she thinks she's starting to get the upper hand, and you position her in just the right position. That were you using teleportation to do this, or just being super fast monk person?
Teleportation to throw her off.
So she's sitting there and she's getting cockier, and she's like, well, it certainly seems like this is, and then poof, you disappear and reappear behind her with an end of the rope that, while you've been distracting her, you've kind of undid all but like the last knot of this rope. And you're not able to get it around her neck, but you are able to get it around her foot. And you pull the belaying pin, and part of the sail starts to unfurl as she's pulled up with it and is now hanging about 10 to 15 feet off the deck, just kind of swinging her sword in your general direction wildly, pissed off beyond all recognition. As she sits there, she takes her rapier and attempts to, because she can't do this automatically. That's not bad. She attempts to cut herself down, and she does, and she lands right in front of you with a thud. There's nothing graceful about it. She just hits the deck hard. And she stands up. She looks at you with this look like, if looks could kill, you're like 3 generations would be dead at this point. And she just sneers at you. And then you see a slight kind of movement at the corner of her mouth, and her features soften a little bit, and she starts this big belly laugh, just laughing hysterically. And you see all the pirates on the deck start to cheer, and she sticks her sword into the deck, so just kind of sticking up, and she slaps you on the back. She goes, "You are not a bad fighter for someone so small." And then she punches you across the jaw. Not enough to do a ton of damage, but enough that you notice it. But that's not a very nice thing to do to a lady. All right, boys, bring him aboard. And she takes her sword, sheathes it. She holds her hand out for you to give her the small sword back. Just kind of waiting there impatiently.
I can give it back, but I'm staying really defensive because I am afraid.
As you hear strange music start playing. I didn't actually check the levels of any of these songs before. I just found them.
As I'm like getting to, well, I've gotten to the top of the ship already, and I'm on there. I'm just like, how, in earnest, I'm still like, how difficult is it to tie that creature to the bottom of your ship?
And as you're sitting there, she kind of ignores you for a moment. You see the pirates start sheathing their swords and kind of grabbing everyone and kind of ushering you onto the ship. Not in like an aggressive way, but in a very forceful way, like an overzealous friend might do, without really like waiting for your personal preference. They're just kind of shoving you onto the ship. And as you guys all get onto the ship, you can see they've opened up a cask of ale, and they're spreading around flagons full of some sort of alcoholic beverage. You have no idea what it is. It smells foul. And the captain comes around and goes, "So, for the first person who's been able to mar me beautiful face, I figure I should reward you with something. So here's a drink and never do it again. I've got a reputation to uphold. And the pirates all laugh. What do you guys want to do? You're all being handed flagons of some foul-smelling alcohol.
Oh, I down it because I'm still drunk.
It burns all the way down.
I look at the captain again and I repeat my question as I'm just holding the ale in one hand.
And the kitten in the other?
Yeah.
She looks at you and she looks at the kitten and goes, "Why do you have a kitten on me ship?"
This is the creature that was on the bottom of your ship. I do weird things and I cast light on the, because it's not a concentration spell, so I cast light on the cup.
And she kind of looks at you and she looks at the cup that's now glowing. She's like, "That's very nice. Why do you have a cat on me ship?"
Do I know, now that I'm in this form and I'm smart, do I know what that creature was?
Roll me, let's call it a nature check. Oh, I'll let you choose, nature or history.
Okay, I am proficient in both, so it's 27 either way.
You've actually never seen a creature like that before. But it shares some features of like legendary sea serpents, like, you know, sailors and things like that tell stories of like sea serpents that take down ships and stuff like that. And so it seems like a creature like that, but you've never actually heard, other than in like wives' tales, you've never actually heard of one of these creatures actually existing. Like wyverns you guys have seen, and, you know, other things like hydras and stuff like that. But as far as a sea serpent that theoretically is large enough to take down a ship, you have never, ever in your life heard of that being a real thing beyond sailor legend.
The sea serpent that's on the bottom of your ship. That thing?
Aye, that's me Sildra.
This is Sildra.
And she just looks at you like you're crazy. She goes, "No, that be a cat. There's a big difference between Sildra and a cat."
Does Sildra like you? Like, would she attack you because you chained her up, or does she listen to you?
She's not chained up. Where would you get an idea like that?
The serpent was doing that on its own accord.
Of course she is. That's how we sail.
All right. I go to the back of the ship.
She's my closest friend. I was found with her.
I go to the back of the ship. I'm just like, watch. I take the cat. I chuck it as hard as my Goliath muscles
bastard!
can. And then I drop polymorph.
And you guys watch as Carrick launches this cat up into the air and is like, and turns into this giant sea serpent that hits and destroys one of the docks as it flies and crashes into the water, thrashes around a little bit and disappears underneath. And she's just sitting there looking at you, not saying a word. All the pirates on the ship are looking at you, not saying a word.
She was in my face. I turned her into a cat.
The captain goes over to the side of the boat and goes, "Sildra, are you okay?" And you hear this.
Yeah.
And she comes back to you and she goes, "She didn't appreciate the fur."
All right. Not a cat next time, even though probably not going to be a next time.
So, you're all doing rather interesting things and transforming from drunk humans into midgets that can punch. The wind has died recently, and you're rather peculiar. I've got an inkling that you might know exactly what might be happening here.
Yeah. That.
This would be your cue to fill in the captain of the pirates that if they decide that they don't like you, they can just throw you overboard and let their sea serpent pet and friend eat you alive.
I begin filling her cup, thinking that's what she was implying with the alcohol.
She looks at you going, "Oh, trying to have your way with me now. That'll come later."
I turned back. I turned back into Carrick, so I shrink about 3 feet. And I open up my own flask and take a sip, and I'm like, the wind crystal broke.
What? And now she looks dead serious. What did you say?
If I turn back, so I'm serving a guy now, but, yeah, the whistle broke, and we're trying to go and see if we can stop the other crystal from breaking.
So wait a minute. You go and you break the wind crystal, and then you want to try and fix the other ones. That doesn't make much sense to me.
No, we didn't break it.
Yeah, we
We
just.
were trying to protect it, and we arrived too late.
Well, you did a shite job protecting it.
That's because we were late. Could not arrive in time.
Yeah.
Well, the nearest crystal is in Walls. It'll take you weeks to get there by land.
It would. And then I kind of walk over to the side of the ship and say, unless we had some faster means of getting there, perhaps by sea, where would we find passage?
Oh, shut your hole. All right, boys. And she kind of gathers her crew. Bad things are about to happen. As much as it's been very useful for us to have no wind for the past day and a half, the water crystal goes, so do we. Now, Sildra, she's fast and she's strong. But a fully loaded ship is a fully loaded ship, and it'll slow us down. So I need you all to carry every piece of heavy material off of this ship now. And without thinking, they start rushing. Some of them kind of running over a few of you guys. And she kind of turns to you as like, you may want to just stand back a wee bit. Shouldn't take long. And true to her word, within about 20 minutes, they've unloaded cannons that were stored below deck. You see ammunition. You see everything basically aside from the water stores and the food stores gone off the ship. And then she turns to them and goes, and now I want you all to get off my ship. And the pirates kind of look confused and they go, Captain, we're not leaving you. You need a good crew to pilot this thing. She goes, Sildra can pilot this thing all by herself. And where we're going, we may not be coming back from. You've got lives, you've got skills, you've got a nice port town here. Find some way to be useful. That's an order. And see him kind of tear up a little bit, and they all slowly get off the ship. He goes, well, you're not taking me ship without me.
We would never dream of it.
I guess we're heading for Walls.
Yes.
If you have any preparations that you need to make, you better make them now. Because once Sildre gets going, we should be there within 2 days.
I'm good.
Any other... anyone else have anything that you want to do to prepare before you guys go? You have basically an entire port town if you want to pick up supplies or anything like that.
I want to pick up the booze that the sailor mentioned that they were just going to drink anyway because it's useless, and I want to bring that on board.
You can bring like a bottle or two. Anything beyond that, she kind of goes, We're trying to lessen the load, not increase it.
I'm just refilling my flask. That's about it.
Okay. They unload most of the food stores and most of the water stores as well, since they're remarkably heavy. Just enough for you guys to have, food and water. You probably have about a week's worth of food and water left on the ship for all you guys. Anyone else have any prep work that they want to do?
Nope.
Nope.
Okay.
All right, so you guys get going, and I need to. Sorry, computer acting weird. Okay, cool. So you guys, you guys set off. I'd like everyone except for Samuel and John to make me Constitution saving throws. And I guess
God,
Arian, you'd be fine as well, so you don't have to. So, Carrick, what'd you get?
9.
All right, Kyron?
13.
Zoe?
19.
All right, Carrick, you are seasick. Bad. Kyron, you don't feel great, but you're not like thrown up or anything. But with how fast the ship is going and it's like bouncing on the waves, think of like a speedboat, only really big. You feel nauseated for most of the trip. Samuel and John, you guys have been on the water before. This is a new experience for you because you've never seen a boat go this fast. But you've got your sea legs. And Zoe, you're fine. Arian, you fly. Like you literally ride on the back of wyverns. You're not really fazed by,
I as John now, I've taken the crystal, or I've returned to my normal self. I go to the front of the boat and just do this.
I'm flying, Jack.
You see Carrick off to the side throwing up overboard.
So, to speed things along, because we don't have a ton of time, again, it takes you the better part of 2 days to get there, but you get Castle Waltz itself is right on the water, and while the ship itself doesn't go completely in, it kind of sets you guys down just outside the castle walls. Because a pirate ship going into a sovereign state with a sea serpent attached to it, probably not a great idea, especially during a crisis. So you guys are right outside castle walls. What would you all like to do?
We need to get to the water crystal
Yeah.
as quickly as possible.
Yeah.
Do I know where that is?
So me or John should know.
You know that the royal family knows where it is, and a few select individuals outside of the royal family know where it is.
We should go talk to the royal family.
Unlike the Wind Crystal, where like the Wyvern Riders were technically there to protect it, the thing that protects it in walls is the fact that it's in a secret location.
We should go talk to the royal family. Explain what's going on and offer our aid.
Lead the way.
Yep.
I lead the way.
All right. So you guys get to, you guys enter into Walls Castle Town, which is basically the little town that sprouted up inside the outer walls of the castle. The actual palace proper is at the back of the town and is guarded, your standard royal family living arrangements. So as you guys make it through, you see the town itself seems to be thriving. Everyone is ecstatic with just how well things are going. And you see, everyone's having a good time. You see money's being thrown around. Very different from the town that you just came from.
Question:
Answer.
Is the wind blowing here?
No, wind's completely dead.
Have they not heard?
Yes,
And I keep going
not.
on.
I say as I take another swig. Happy I'm on land now.
As you guys get up to, they call it the Water Palace. Just again with its affiliation with the water crystal and everything, it's just always affectionately been called for generations the Water Palace. As you guys approach the Water Palace, you see these two guards standing there with relatively large spears that kind of cross them as you get near. Hold up! No one goes into the palace without a meeting. Do you have an appointment?
No, not yet, but we'd like to make one.
And he kind of looks at the other guard. We do not make appointments. You do not make appointments to see the king. The king makes an appointment to see you.
Well, here's the thing. I don't know if you've heard about the water crystal. Sorry,
And he just looks at you.
the wind crystal.
Condescending as hell.
The-
It's like, obviously, never heard of the water crystal. Our entire
you-
civilization is based around it. I have never heard of it. I am simply a lowly god, sent
Listen
to
here.
keep the riffraff out of the water palace.
Listen
Fun
here.
fact, the water palace is actually named after the water crystal, of which I do not know anything about.
Do you take me
And
for
the guy
an
next to
idiot,
him
sir?
goes, That's pretty funny, Gareth. I think that you're
Gareth,
kind
you
of
say.
stupid, but... Oh, sorry. And he just kind of stands back up.
I have a friend who you should talk to. I meant to say, have you heard of the destruction of the wind crystal?
Destruction? You can't destroy the crystals. They're big fonts of power. Like the entire
But-
world's navy couldn't destroy the water crystal. You're nuts.
And have
I
you
quite
have
agree
you felt the
with my-
wind blowing in the last several days?
And they both kind of look at each other. Well, not
Begin-
really, but...
Right. The water crystal is in danger. We must speak to the king about it.
Now, listen here. There's nothing wrong with the water crystal. Yes.
Not yet.
I take out an unopened flask. I hand it to one of the guards. I'm like, "You're gonna need that," and I turn into Ernest.
And what you do is like, oh, ooh, and they both kind of point their spears at you. He's gotten really big.
Yes, he has. We have certain abilities that will help us to protect the water crystal.
You
Now,
bloody
I realize
nuts.
this is above your pay grade. Go fetch someone for us to talk to. We'll stay here.
I am to my role now. I come on behalf of Take-Two and I do have an appointment.
And he kind of looks at you, and you're still wearing your wyvern rider garb. And so he kind of looks at you up and down a little bit, and you have the seal part of your armor has the seal of Tycoon on it. He goes, well, I guess a foreign dignitary can see the king. I'll send for someone to come get you. Oh, that's really cool. Do you have one of them dragon things that you ride through the air on?
I do.
He seems a little bit sad. Oh, I was hoping to get a ride on one. I've never been on a wyvern before. And you guys kind of chit-chat for about 5 minutes, and this older gentleman comes down. Oh, excuse me, I am so sorry. Oh, hello, greetings and salutations. I am Salacious. I am the advisor to the king, and I understand we have an envoy from the kingdom of Tycoon here to see his royal majesty.
Yeah. I am representing the Tycoon and I'm here on the forces. Before we go to the crystal.
Certainly. You do not have to explain yourself to me, mighty Wind Rider. I will simply usher you in. The king has been expecting the representatives from Tycoon for about a week now. We were starting to fear you had gotten lost on the way here. So please come in. Bring all of your. Wow, you are a very tall one, aren't you? As she looks at, or as he looks at Carrick. You may want to just duck down as you go through, because you're going to hit your head on various things like lighting fixtures and things like that. It's not going to be a pleasant experience for you. Just going to let you know that right now. All right, quickly this way. Let us go. Let's meet the king.
I'm perpetually ducking down under everything.
As we walk by the guards, I blow a kiss at them. And, finger wave by.
And you see the one that's not Gareth go, oh, look, she likes me. You guys come in. The Water Palace itself. Samuel and John, I don't believe either of you guys have ever been in the Water Palace, correct? Neither of you guys have royal blood or anything, right? I can't remember the backstories right now.
Not royal. I'm just kind of I'm a well-to-do playboy.
So, John, you've probably been in the first area, because the first area you come into is a foyer ballroom type place. Nobles have been here. There have been parties and stuff here. So you've probably, if you haven't personally been here, you've heard stories.
Yes.
However, and it's the rest of you guys are just blown away with just the sheer opulence of everything that you see here. It looks absolutely amazing. You can see fountains everywhere, flanking the staircases, everything. And as you guys go further into the palace, it gets even more immaculate. This is an area that nobles generally aren't even allowing. You basically have to have a personal invitation from the king to get here. And they take you through corridor after corridor, and eventually they take you to the throne room, which is a relatively large room. It's about 50. It's a square room about 50 feet on a side, and at the center you see a very large throne that is on a platform that's probably about 10 feet higher than the rest of the room, with stairs leading up to the top of it. And you can see the center throne where a man wearing these blue royal robes and a crown with a sapphire inset in it is sitting there. You can see two shorter thrones, each one kind of getting smaller and smaller. The one on the left is kind of medium, and you see this woman in these flowing, very light blue dress type thing that she looks very regal. She has a tiara. And then on the right is an even shorter throne, and you can see that is where this man is sitting there, who He wears these dark blue and purple, like a dark blue and purple doublet with black leggings and these really expensive leather boots, and he's got rings on his finger, and he's got this kind of scepter staff type thing that's encrusted with jewels, and he just looks like he's annoyed with the entire process here. And so as you come in, the person that's leads you in is like, okay, so everyone bow, we're bowing now, everyone just go ahead and bow. And he bows his head, and he's like, my lord, the representatives of the kingdom of Tycoon have finally arrived, and they wish to speak with you. And then you watch him, without lifting his head, he kind of backs through you guys, turns around, exits and closes the big double doors you just came in behind you. And you see the king kind of adjust himself a little bit and sit up a little straighter and goes, come forward, representatives of Tycoon. You, and he points at Arian, you are one of the Wyvern Riders, are you not? I was expecting to see your captain. Had she fallen ill?
My captain was unable to travel due to the situation back at home.
I'm very, very, very sorry. Situation? What situation are you referring to? I'm not aware of a situation.
The red crystal has been destroyed.
And as you say that, the man sitting in the shortest throne stands up and slams his staff onto the ground. I cannot believe the lies that the Tycoonians are trying to tell us here. This is the king of Walls, and you come here spewing such falsehoods. You should be ashamed of yourself. My lord, you should have them arrested and beheaded immediately.
If you don't believe me, go outside and see if you feel the wind.
I step forward.
Go ahead.
And say, Your Highness, I am a citizen of Walls. I am Philippus Theophrastus Periclesis Malcius Arcelangulus Genonis Enus Bombastus von Hohenheim of the Van Hohenheim's estate, not far away.
Very familiar. Your great uncle was actually a companion of my grandfather. They were very good friends. They heard very good things. But what is this nonsense of that you cannot destroy the crystals? They're eternal. They are fonts of power.
Your Highness, I was there. I saw it. It was terrible. The crystal was connected to some machine. The machine was attempting to draw more power out of it.
Of course, you
but
get cut off
for some reason
by this short man. Of course it was. That is what we're all doing. Do you not see the prosperity of Walls?
You must.
Do you see how our
stop.
trade has been? You are interrupting me, you insolent peasant. I will not be interrupted by one as low-born as you. Yes, you may have noble blood, but I am the advisor to the king, and I find these audacious rumors to be salacious.
May I take it that you are somehow involved in the modifications, these machines, which are drawing more power out of the crystals?
I am not. I am the advisor to the king. I was the one who introduced him to the great scientist Sid, who showed us that the kingdom of Karnak had become great and powerful after truly harnessing the power of their crystal. And they have had no issues whatsoever. They have been using the power of their crystal far longer than we have, and far longer than the pitiful Tycoonians have been attempting. My lord, More
Wow, this
likely
is-
than not, what has happened here is they attempted to use technology they did not understand, and therefore they think something is wrong with their crystal. But you
Wow,
cannot
this is-
destroy the crystals. Of course
nothing-
you can't. That is simply preposterous.
While
The
this has
crystal-
been going on, I've been standing in the back, tearing a piece of parchment, casting mending on it, and like showing it to the queen, then doing it again.
She's kind of, she's very regal, and she kind of nods to you and seems not really amused, but kind of tolerates it, and then kind of, as politely as physically possible, she kind of ignores you and focuses on the conversation that's going on. You're actually kind of blown away with just kind of how commanding a presence she has. You've never met royalty before, but she even compared to the king here, she's in a league of her own. Like it's hard for anyone that enters the throne room to not kind of be drawn towards her.
Yep.
And so the king goes, Radagast, please, you're insulting our guests. Oh, great member of the von Hohenheim family. My advisor seems to not believe you. Do you have any proof of these claims?
I immediately shift out of my form and just hold up the crystal.
I'm same here.
Say I'm drunk while I'm doing it though, so
Yeah,
I shift too.
The crystal itself,
Yeah.
crystal itself shattered, and while most of the pieces evaporated into the ether, these few were left behind by the spirit of the Wind Guardian, or the spirit of the Wind Crystal, to help us to protect the others.
And you see Radagast start to pound his air. Oh, they're simply... And you see with a single wave of his hand, the king silences Radagast. He goes, how do you know of the spirit that protects the crystal? Well, that certainly gives me pause as far as... But we've had nothing but prosperity from it. We have been able to control the seas, even without the wind the past few days. We can still sail the seas by controlling the very currents. It has brought us nothing but prosperity.
For now.
Yeah, and we started from here until a few days ago.
And then you see Radagast kind of get closer, and you're not sure if he just doesn't understand how volume works, or he simply doesn't have the ability to speak very quietly. But he goes, Your Majesty, you know what will happen if we stop using our crystal when Karnak has such a vast amount of power. They could overtake the kingdom. We can't afford to... I mean, there's no guarantee that what happened in Tycoon will happen here. And he kind of waves
Doesn't
him
it?
down, and for the first time, you guys hear a noise so pure you thought that it might be some sort of perfectly played instrument or something like that. It's just almost musical in its tone as you see the queen, who's been sitting kind of dutifully, just sitting there. My lord, as much as it does seem unlikely we could damage something as powerful as the crystals, these travelers come with a compelling story. And they have traveled a very great distance to tell it to you. If this was meant to deceive, I feel that I would be able to sense the deception. And all I can sense from them right now is worry for our kingdom and our world. And the king kind of looks down and he's like, my better half has always been more in tune with people than I have. I'm much more a big picture kind of person. Well, I really don't know what to say about this. I mean, the crystal is hidden. To reveal its location to anyone that's not of royal blood is forbidden. Aside from a few guards that give their lives and dedicate their lives to protecting it. I will have to think on this matter before allowing you to go into a temple dedicated to the water crystal.
Your Grace, we could be blindfolded, bound even.
Merely being in the presence of the water crystal is overwhelming for most, and would defile the temple itself if you're not of royal blood. I understand that you have noble blood in you, but it is not as pure as one of a direct line of ascendancy. This is a very difficult matter to think about. I must... And as that happens, the doors that you guys just came through burst open, and you see this guard dressed in full royal plate. These are the personal guard of the royal family. John, you've seen them once. Samuel, you've never actually seen one in person.
I think you mean Kyron.
Or Kyron, I'm sorry, yeah. It's been a long day, folks. Kyron, you've never actually seen one in person. But what ends up happening is he comes in and he is soaked to the bone. He goes, Your Highness, something, and he realizes there are more people here. Your Highness, I must speak to you privately.
It's the water.
Something's wrong with the water crystal?
And he kind of looks confused. Your Highness, who are these people? Please do not worry about these people. They're representatives from the Kingdom of Tycoon, and they claim that there's something going to happen to the water crystal. And he goes, Yes, sir, but something has happened to this crystal, sir. As we were guarding it, we heard some sort of commotion, and myself and the other guard felt it was necessary for us to check on the crystal. As we went in, we saw a crack begin to form in it. We immediately went to try and figure out what was happening, and then water started rushing in from everywhere. We were forced to evacuate the temple. It is underwater now, sir. It is underwater. Oh, this is dangerous indeed.
I clear out Malachi. Do you doubt me now?
And he just fumes. Like, his face gets red, but he doesn't say anything. Well, Crystal Warriors, it seems I have need of your aid. As a defense mechanism, the Temple of Water that houses the crystal, in times of great peril, can sink itself to be protected by the water of the ocean itself. In order for that to happen, the reigning deity must go to the temple itself, and through a sacrifice of blood activate this defense. Now, I'm not sure exactly how wise you are, but I've been here. It's simply impossible for me to have activated this defense mechanism. Something else has done it. And as he says that, the queen gets this look of pain on her face, and she goes, something evil and dark has taken the water crystal. It wishes to destroy it, to disrupt the balance. It has submerged the temple so that it may complete its quest. And then she looks at you. You must stop it. You must prevent it from doing this. Please.
We will. We will. Or give our lives trying.
Commander. And he turns to the guy that's sopping wet. Take them to the temple. Now, unfortunately for you, it is a very long way down. I have no vehicle or item that will allow you to survive the journey down, nor be able to breathe when you get down there. You will have to come up with something yourself.
All right.
I wish you the best of luck.
Thank you.
May the crystals guide your path. And he kind of gives a very curt nod. You watch the knight go all the way down to his knee in his bow. And then, without waiting for you guys to observe the proper procedure, kind of drags you out.
I change.
Okay. What about the rest of you guys?
Yeah.
I'm still in Goliath form, so I'm ready to go.
You keep knocking your head on like lighting fixtures.
I'm staying as my human form.
Okay. So he starts he takes you to a wall, a couple rooms away, and it's just a wall, and he walks right into it and disappears.
I follow.
And you walk right through it and are in a relatively narrow, very damp set of stairs that seem to be going down, and you can see him right in front of you, kind of waiting. Come on now, we've got a lot of work to do.
Yes.
The rest of you, you've just seen John disappear.
I'm going through because Ernest in the back of my head is like, "Oh, you're used to this."
So you walk through, you smack your head on the top, and then duck down, go.
I follow.
I jump through, not realizing people are on the other side.
You collide with Zoe, stumble a little bit, but eventually you all get down, and you travel really far down. Like, you guys are going, like, at first you think it's nothing, and then 5 minutes pass, and you're still going down these very large kind of spiral staircase. And then 10 minutes pass, and then 15 minutes pass, and 20 minutes pass. You guys have no idea how far below sea level you are now, but you know you've traveled down pretty far, and it eventually opens up into like a cavern, and you can see a river with kind of like a ferry boat type thing there, with another guard who immediately draws his weapon and kind of points it at you guys, sees that you're with another guard, and goes, "What's going on? These are not of royal blood. What are they doing here?" "Percival, we cannot wait. They are here to fix things. They have the blessing of the king. I don't like this." And they kind of usher you on, and you guys, do you guys get on the ferry?
Yeah.
So you guys get on the ferry, you go for another like 10 minutes, and then you stop at nothing, it seems like. It's just a big open expanse of water underground. It's lit by these kind of glowing rocks all throughout, so you can see relatively well. But there's nothing here. And the guy that's been guiding you goes, down there is the temple. It's submerged. Well, the top floor of it is probably about 200 feet down.
Do you know if there's air inside the temple, or if the entire temple has been flooded?
It flooded on our way out. I sincerely doubt there's any air in it.
I dive in the water. As I dive in, I turn into a shark and start swimming straight down.
Does anyone have any ability to breathe underwater? Wait.
And then as he says that, I touch my neck again, gain the aquatic adaptations, and jump in after the shark.
Okay.
Anyone else?
So Garrett and Carrick just kind of swim down.
Okay. Well, this didn't work out exactly as I'd planned last time, but let's try it again. And I cast Control Water and start lowering the boat down.
And the knight draws his sword, kind of points it at you. He's like, What are you doing? What is, And he seems kind of freaked out, but he isn't doing anything. You can see Carrick and Chiron kind of swimming down with you guys as you head down.
I just keep lowering the boat. I think at some point water will have to start coming above, because I think I only have such a range on it. So, but I try to keep like a nice bubble.
You're in kind of a bubble. As you go down, it takes you about 5 minutes to get to the first level, and the knight is like, that was weird.
Yes.
Very, very weird. Here, and
I think you guys are coming with us. We need to get to the water crystal
he
room.
hands you this what looks like seaweed.
Okay.
And that's all he does. He just hands it to you, and then you see him pull out some more and starts chewing on it.
I'll start chewing on it as well.
As you chew on it, you feel a burst of air every time you chew on it kind of fill your mouth and come out your nose.
I stop chewing on it. Stick it in my pocket for a couple minutes from now. You'll want to hang on to that, but for right now, I press on.
Not going in there. Can you move the boat back to the top? Because I'm in, and this armor's heavy. I won't leave. I just want to go back. This isn't what I want to do.
All right,
I
get in the
guard
boat.
Entrance. I don't go in the.
Can you give us more of that stuff? Give us enough for everyone? You bring enough to share?
So he goes out and he gives everyone a piece of it, except for Carrick and Chiron, because they're not there.
Okay. I stick it in my mouth, and then tell him to get back in the boat, and then I just...
Before you do that, I ask him for their pieces, because I'm hungry.
You're still drunk?
I need, because there's water everywhere, and I don't, because I'm in heavy armor, and I sink, and then I die, and I don't want to die. And he made the water move, and he made a bubble, but the bubble's going to go away.
I'm going.
Like this.
The bubble won't go away until you're back up on the surface. Now go.
I've never traveled by a bubble before. I'm not 100% sure of that. I'm keeping my weed. You
Fine,
keep
keep
yours, I'm keeping mine.
Keep it in, and the boat's leaving in 5, 4, 3,
And he gets back
2,
on the boat and starts chewing furiously.
1, and then I take my piece out, stick it back in my mouth, and then I let the bubble go back up,
Okay.
and then water will rush into where we are, and we'll be underwater, and the boat
So,
goes up.
other than Kyron and Carrick, you guys have the ability to breathe underwater while you're chewing this. But you'll basically act as if you're swimming. So any attack rolls made by anything other than a crossbow or things that do piercing damage will be made at disadvantage. Ranged weapons only work at the close range. Stuff like that. You know, your basic swimming rules.
So,
Carrick, because you have a swim speed, none of that applies to you.
All right.
Same is true for Kyron, except you're a shark, so you got weird rules anyways.
all right, let's go.
So you guys, what do you guys want to do?
Through the temple.
Yeah.
All right. So you guys start descending. You realize that the temple is not so much a temple as it is a tower. That as you go in seems off. Like something is wrong with this tower, and at first you can't put your finger on it, and then you realize the tower is inverted and seems to be built to be inverted, because you guys can see stairs that if the tower were upside down, you would be able to walk on to get to what would normally be the top of the tower. You guys are technically at the bottom of the tower, but it's at the top of the tower right now. If that makes sense. So the tower's upside down.
Yes.
And I would like everyone to make me wisdom saving throws, please.
Does that suck?
23.
I'm just going to start left to right for me. So
Oh, sorry.
That's okay. Carrick?
24.
Okay, John?
20.
Kyron?
23.
Thank you. Sam?
8.
Okay, Zoe?
18.
Arian?
Hey,
All right, so Samuel and Arian, as you guys are going down, something feels off, and you guys are hearing this like, Samuel and Arian, you guys hear actual words, and it sounds like your fellow party members. Like you hear John say, I really don't trust that Sam guy. Maybe we should leave him down here. And then Arian, you hear Zoe go, well, it's Arian's fault. The wind crystal died. He's Wind Rider. He's supposed to protect it. And you hear Carrick go, yeah, they're kind of dead weight. It'd probably be easier if we just kind of tackle them and take away their gum. You know, their weed. They'll be gone pretty quickly. And Kyron goes, yeah, I think that's probably what we should do. Don't let them know, but that's what we should do. And they're saying these in very hushed voices. You guys are just barely picking it up.
But we noticed that we didn't say each other to each other, me and Arian. Or no?
Both of you heard that, and neither of you two have spoken yet. But if you want, you guys can kind of give each other a knowing glance that you both heard what was just said.
Yeah. Try and nod over to Arian.
Okay.
yeah.
The rest of you guys kind of see Samuel and Arian kind of nod to each other, but not really much else than that. And you continue descending the tower. Anything you guys want to do? You are now at the second level of the tower.
Looking around for any signs for machinery or Any signs for the crystal, the main chamber?
Make me an investigation check.
13.
Okay. Looking around, being underwater, there is some light from like glowing sconces, but the water itself, for whatever reason, seems very murky, and so the light doesn't penetrate as far as it really should. It's kind of dim light all around. And looking around, you can see this really brilliant carved marble everywhere, and you can see what you assume are fountains when it's not submerged. And then you see this kind of metallic object that kind of runs along the side, following the stairs down. That looks very out of place, doesn't look like anything else in the temple. But you notice that there's still more stairs. The floor that you're on is kind of open and empty.
Okay, keep heading. Gonna keep heading down then.
Samuel and Arian,
Following the-
make me wisdom saving throws again.
13.
Carrick?
9.
Okay. John is at 13. Kyron?
13.
25.
Okay. Zoe?
19.
Okay. So, you guys are still hearing this. John, you're starting to hear voices that are coming from it, but they don't really make a whole lot of sense. Kyron and Zoe, you guys are fine. Carrick, on the other hand, hears a voice that sounds that's coming from Samuel, saying something like, "If I kill them all, I can take all the crystals for myself and become invincible." And it's said very quietly in a very hushed tone. You probably wouldn't have heard it if it weren't for the fact that you were kind of walking right next to him, just kind of brushing past him as you were going down. Or swimming down, as it may be.
I just give him a sort of cross look from my giant Goliath stance and height, and then I just keep going.
So Samuel, you've just seen Carrick give you this very evil look. And Arian, you kind of notice that Carrick is specifically focusing on Samuel now and looks menacing almost. Would you guys like to keep descending?
Yes. I want to follow that metal pipe.
Okay.
I'm gonna hang way back and just keep an eye on everyone but Arian.
Okay. Carrick, you notice Samuel is kind of keeping to the back of the party. As you guys descend another floor, you guys start feeling the water pressure get heavier down here. It's feeling a little bit more oppressive. Even Kyron and Carrick, you guys are starting to feel the pressure a little bit more. Give me wisdom saving throws, buddy. Or John, Kyron, and Zoe are the only ones that need it. Never mind. John?
15.
Kyron?
Am I rolling it since I am a shark? Am I taking this shark's bonus or am I using my own?
When you're transformed, your mental abilities you keep. You take the physical abilities.
Okay, so 15.
Okay. Zoe?
And
22.
You guys are still hearing these whispers. They don't mean anything. John, you started to realize that the voices that you thought you heard in there, you're starting to think they were just tricks of your ear. You know, just your mind trying to make sense of random noises. But you guys are starting to notice that the whispers are getting louder. Whatever they are, whether they're whispers or just weird sounds, it's getting louder.
Am I the only one going crazy here? Is anybody else hear whispers? Although it probably comes out like...
One of the things with the fact that air is constantly being created every time you chew this, if you chew it and time it correctly, you can actually get words out. It takes longer to say things because every word you have to chew then say. But you guys can basically speak normally, if not long normally.
Yeah, I've been hearing some weird sounds. They did say there was something evil down here. If something's trying to mess with us. Has anybody been hearing anything else?
Well,
What if I have?
Apparently the good doctor's been talking about killing us all.
I heard you. You're gonna leave me down here.
Oh.
I'm watching you.
I'm watching you.
So,
What do you guys want to do?
I want to. Let's keep going down.
Okay. Everyone okay with that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
I'm
descend,
just keeping an eye on the good doctor as we keep going.
you descend another floor. Carrick, you start seeing out of the corner of your eye, because you can't just stare at him. Like, you get the idea that would end poorly. But out of the corner of your eye, you see a slight glow. And as you look over, you see him kind of tracing, or you think you see him tracing arcane symbols in the water around him. Samuel and Arian, you guys, as you guys get lower, you see Carrick starting to get a firm hold on his arcane focus. And you see John kind of holding his holy symbol closer than he normally would. Chiron, you're a shark. And you watch as Chiron, you see as he's swimming, you just seem to think that he keeps focusing on you and kind of moving in a way that he gets closer to you and closer to you. And for whatever reason, you see Zoe has got her hand on her sword and seems to be tense, as if something is about to happen. John, Chiron, and Zoe, you are not doing any of those things. You are simply walking.
Lies, I saw it.
You descend down another level. John, Chiron, Zoe, wisdom saving throws, please. And we'll start the opposite direction this time with Zoe.
20.
Okay, Chiron.
18.
John.
14. This isn't a charm effect, correct?
Technically, this is not a charm effect.
Okay.
What race are you again?
I'm a high elf.
They don't have anything about illusion magic, correct?
I don't believe so.
Okay. Then no, this is not a charm effect.
Okay.
Now, you guys probably have no idea what kind of effect this is, obviously, because the Dungeon Master would never say anything that would reveal information that your characters would not have, of course.
It's not charm, and it's not trying to put me to sleep, so I don't know anything about it.
So you guys descend another floor, and you guys see, when you get to this floor, a set of large marble-carved stone doors. Very similar to the ones you guys saw in the Wind Shrine. Only this one, the carvings themselves depict water and waves and ships and things like that. What would you like to do?
I have one question. If I want to change into a different water creature, do I have to shift back to normal? Or can I just change immediately to the other water creature?
I'm going to say, as long as you have another transformation available to you, you can just go. but it would be another use of your wild shape to go to a different creature.
Yeah. I can't remember how many I have.
Theoretically, you should have 2, and when you guys got to Waltz, you'd been on the boat for a couple of days, so you technically had a long rest before you started this.
So I still have 1 more? Okay.
I believe you have 2 a day, if I remember correctly.
That's
Yeah,
That
so
sounds
I
about
already
right.
used 1, so I have 1 more. Okay.
Okay. So
and I think it's sorry.
go for it. You're technically our resident druid expert. I've never played one.
I was gonna say
I just
it's
haven't played
I
one in
think,
years.
I think it's 2 per short rest, and the length is half of your druid level rounded down. So you should be able to stay at 8th level. I think you should be able to stay as a shark for up to 4 hours.
Okay.
Which you guys have only been in here for like 20 minutes, so
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
barely. How long does alter self last?
An hour.
Yeah, so you're absolutely fine. So yeah, you guys have a big old door in front of you.
I just look at them, keep an eye on Sam out of the corner of my eye, and I start trying to push it open.
As you get close to the door, I need charisma saving throws from Carrick, Samuel, and Arian.
Charisma, huh? That's my low stat.
And I'm regretting not being in my gnomish form. Natural 1.
Ooh.
Arian,
Oh,
what's you got?
nat
6.
Okay, Carrick.
nat 20.
Okay, so Carrick, you instantly feel this sense of dread, like something really, really bad is about to happen, but you look around and nothing's really going on. Samuel and Aaron, you guys watch as Carrick starts conjuring what looks like a bolt of lightning and getting ready to shoot it at you, while John starts bringing down the light, this radiant light to smite you, and Chiron starts rushing towards you to bite you in half. And Zoe, what class are you again? Oh yeah, the paladin. And Zoe brings her sword to bear to come to attack you guys, and you feel you have to act now.
Oh,
What do you
God.
want to do?
I immediately shift into the monk
Okay.
and start going straight for Carrick because that sounds like more of the threat with lightning underwater.
Okay. Arian, what do you do simultaneously? as-
No, I was already in my
Mhm.
moment. I was toward Kira with my rescue fly and ready to attack.
All right, so Carrick, you watch as both Samuel changes into his monk form and rushes you, and you watch as Arian pulls a rapier and starts rushing at you as quickly as they can. The rest of you guys see this as well, watching them both rush towards Carrick almost out of nowhere. Like, it just seems very bizarre that it's like a switch was flipped and they start rushing at Carrick. However, Carrick, before you can react, Samuel and Arian, go ahead and make me attack rolls. Arian, I think it's a piercing weapon, right?
Yeah.
So you can roll a normal attack. Samuel, all your attacks will be at disadvantage.
Well, 10 was my highest, highest with disadvantage.
Okay, Arian.
2 tears.
Carrick, what's your armor class?
12.
Yes.
So Samuel comes over and he starts throwing these punches at you, and they impact, but they just kind of get knocked off. Do you have armor?
I'm a wizard, so no.
Oh, so you kind of bat them away and kind of dodge out of the way. Arian, though, does get a lucky blow. Go ahead and roll damage.
Mine would have been a stunning strike if I hit.
No.
Does he have sneak attack for this?
Yeah, but I have.
Well, it wasn't at disadvantage, and you do have an ally within 5 feet, so...
Okay, roll your damage. I want to hear it.
Oh, this is gonna be great.
That would be 10 base damage. And then 40.
Yeah, I know you're
Oh. And then 21.
21.
Yeah.
So
Alright.
is that total 21 damage?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna stones endurance because I'm a Goliath. That's 9. So I reduced
It's a
that.
smart thing to do.
I reduced that by 12, so it becomes 9.
Okay. So he gets you immediately after that, Carrick. You can take one action against either one of them or both of them, whatever you want to do. What do you want to do?
First off, I keep my alter self barely because I rolled a 10.
Nice. That would have been hilarious. I didn't even think about that. Wow.
Yeah. And then, let's see here. Huh. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. Wait, no. Is that concentration? Shit. So, just because he
Quick,
seems
quick
to be
like
the
a bunny.
scarier... Because he seems to be the scarier of the two, I try to grab, Arian, and I cast Shocking Grasp.
Okay, because you're no, you're fine. Go ahead and make a regular attack roll.
Will you be surprised?
Technically, he wasn't surprised, so good try, but no.
Does
That would have been very bad.
Does the 26 hit you?
Arian?
Who are you attacking, Arian or Samuel?
Arian.
Oh yeah, I think it's
It's both of us.
Yeah.
You take 8 lightning damage,
Alright.
and you
and
can't
then-
take a reaction.
and I swim behind my shark friend.
So as this happens, your minds are instantly clear. Samuel and Arian, you guys are having a hard time trying to figure out why it was you just attacked Carrick. Carrick, after you grab Arian, you're like, what the hell just happened? And John, Kyron, and Zoe, you have no idea what's going on, but your party has just turned on itself.
So wait, did I see those two attack them?
Yep. You watched the whole thing. It happened so quickly that you weren't able to intervene until after it ended. And now they all look very confused.
Okay, so it looks like they've stopped doing action.
Yeah, they don't look aggressive anymore, but
Okay.
they look very confused.
At the last second, I stopped myself from casting Hold Person on the two of them, which would have ended very badly, I think.
Probably, yeah.
Because they wouldn't be able to chew and get air. And so I'm just like, oh, okay. Now, what the hell, boys?
I was hearing whispers for a couple of seconds, and then it turned into words, and I thought that Sam was going to kill us, and then he attacked me, so I shocking... And I wasn't expecting Arian to do anything, so I shocking grasp Arian, because he's the one that actually hit.
All right, knock the stuff out. Let's go.
As we go forward, I
world
still
is
keep
at
my eye on
stake.
Carrick.
What?
I still keep my eye on Carrick as we go forward. Residual effect.
And I kicked the door.
You're actually the weird part about this. As much as you remember hearing them say that they were going to kill you, basically, you no longer like it. It feels like it was a dream. You don't feel like it really happened, and you don't really have any anger towards Carrick anymore for some bizarre reason. Like it's really weird.
All right, then I'm going to be eyeing his flask and trying to steal it when he's not paying attention.
So what do you guys want to do? You still have doors that haven't been opened yet.
Because I'm underwater, I go right up to the door kind of swim up a little bit, and then use both legs to kick the door in.
Okay. So as the door opens, you guys see the light of the water crystal start flooding the room in the area, bathing it all in bright light, and you can see behind it is a shadow. And the light of the crystal is so bright that it's actually making it difficult to see whatever this creature is behind it. But it's large. And as you look a little bit closer, it's moving and writhing almost behind the crystal and kind of wrapping itself around. You guys do see the machinery connected to the crystal, and you can see a very clear crack in the crystal itself. I have to look up this creature to tell you what it does.
Tarrasque can breathe underwater.
Oh god.
I
believe that's the way.
As you guys focus closer on it, you see the creature itself is kind of elongated. It's large, and you can see at one end it has this large toothy maw, and it has multiple eyes on it, and as it goes down you see it ends in all these tentacles that kind of wrap around the crystal and reach out. Some of the tentacles, and then it also has a long tail with a large fin on the end, and it seems to be writhing and moving through the water, and you can hear in your head, "So you've come to my lair."
I take a moment and cast protection from evil and good on me, on myself.
As you do that, it says, "You think that will protect you?"
What I'll do is I take
will
a
enjoy devouring you and your essences.
I take a deep breath of air, swim to the ceiling, cast rope trick, and climb it.
Before you can do that, you notice 3 shadows in the water moving towards you. And you notice that the room that you're in is massive. It's about 300 feet square. It's much larger than the other crystal room that you were in before.
So the ceiling's way too high.
Yeah, it's just this,
Okay,
this
forget
huge,
that.
huge room. And you see these 3 shadows, and at first you can't even tell what they are. And as they get closer, they get bigger and bigger. And you see they're mostly black, but you see these white markings on them. And as they get closer, they open up their large mouths to see these giant teeth. These massive creatures come rushing towards you. And I would like everybody to roll for initiative.
Hey, I'm Ernest.
Oh boy.
Oh, that's nice.
Uh-oh.
No, one of the creatures has a negative dex mod.
Oh.
So I'm like, oh, that's not a bad roll. Never mind.
Don't worry, I rolled crappy.
Here we go. And the other one has a 0 dex mod. Wow, these guys are going to be doing super well. Alright, hold on. Carrick, what you got, man?
6.
John,
21.
Arian,
20. Wait, what'd you say?
Arian, sorry.
Sorry.
Oh, 14.
Samuel,
14 as well.
who wants to go first?
Harry, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I guess I could because you need an ally near.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Zoe,
That would be a 7.
Kyron.
21.
All right. Between John and Kyron, who wants to go first?
Kyron, I'll let you go first.
All right.
Really? Come on.
Although well,
Kyron, you are up first. You see 3 killer whales start moving towards you guys as this massive creature behind them flicks and moves about. What do you want to do?
I'll go after the one that's closest, I suppose.
Okay. The killer whales are closer than whatever creature you don't actually recognize.
Yeah, so which one of the killer whales is closest? I'll go to that one.
Okay.
Really? That's a 1, so I hit nothing.
So you come up and try and take a bite out of it, and it just dodges out of the way. Anything else you want to do with your turn?
Nope.
Cool. Next up is John. What do you want to do? You see 3 killer whales and some tentacle creature.
and Kyron is a shark.
Kyron
Yes.
is a shark.
I'm thinking use control water again
Okay.
to create a cube of air.
Okay.
Can I do that? Kind of leaving Kyron okay.
Do you know how large an area you can control? It should be in the
100.
spot.
It's a 100 by 100 foot area.
So yeah, theoretically, if you wanted to, you could. Again, it's a 300 by 300 foot room, so you can make a 100 foot by 100 foot cube in there.
Yep. So I'm gonna make a 100 by 100 foot cube,
Okay.
and try to get like 2 of the killer whales and the monster,
Okay.
or as much of the killer whales as I can.
Not a problem. So you, Kyron, make a dexterity saving throw for me.
And so that I have to use the sharks thing, right?
That you would use the sharks. Yep.
Okay. $14.
What's your spell save DC, John?
Sure,
Oh, what's
wisdom
up,
plus
DC?
3 plus
Yeah.
8.
13.
13. So, Kyron, you see water start to disappear as he starts shoving it out of the room, and you just deftly dodge out of the way. 3 killer whales fall, let's say 50 feet. 6. Someone keep track of these numbers for me, please. So the first
Okay.
one's a 6. 1. 6. 2. 6. Wow, that was a lot of 6s.
21.
21. Okay, cool.
What they said.
So you watch 3 killer whales go from swimming powerfully to just falling and flopping on the ground. The creature at the back very nimbly gets out of the way and avoids the area that is now breathable and without water. That was very cool. Take inspiration for that. Anything
As a
else?
bonus action, I pack myself on the back and then just kind of float backwards a little bit.
Cool. That brings us to Samuel. You are currently underwater, but 5 feet in front of you is an area of air with killer whales flopping in it.
How long does your control water last?
About 10 minutes, or until I get bonked on the head.
Okay, so since I have slow fall, I'm gonna swim out into the air and just land on one of the killer whales and just take care of them before his concentration goes away.
Okay. You don't have to worry about because you would have been close to the ground when he cast
Oh,
the
okay.
spell, so you would just kind of walk out into it.
Alright, and then I'll attack the closest one, and then if it's still standing, just keep attacking it with flurry.
Yeah, go ahead. Make your attack rolls. They count as prone, so you'll have
Oh, okay.
advantage.
Good, because it was a 4 to a 16, so 23 on the first,
That's a hit.
24 on the second.
Definitely a hit.
Stupid D6s.
You get an idea that these killer whales are pretty hardy.
11 plus 8, so 19. That's both attacks total.
So you said a grand total of 19.
Yeah.
All right, you go up and punch it a couple of times. It does not seem to be pleased to be out of the water, but still, it's barely showing any signs of damage thus far.
Alright, then I'll flurry of blows and attack it 2 more times.
Go for it.
Okay, that's a 26 and a 20.
Both of them hit.
This time it's 16.
All right. So as you come up and strike it twice, you feel kind of the blubber absorbing a few of the blows, and then you come down and hit it with an axe kick, and the skin starts to rupture a little bit, and now it's looking a lot more rough, but it's still kind of flailing on the ground. Anything else you want to do with your turn?
No. I'll just stay out here and start picking at the whales until he drops concentration.
Arian, what would you like to do?
Alright, so I'll go and attack the whales that say move and attack it
Go for it.
with my rapier, and I'm assuming they haven't taken a turn yet, so
Yep, they haven't taken a turn yet. So you'd have advantage, but you have advantage already since they are prone.
I 18.
Definitely a hit. You get the idea that these are really, really big creatures that are just flopping around on the ground. You don't think you're going to have a hard time hitting them. How much damage or did you roll damage?
You ever been damage?
Okay.
And that would be 11. So 26.
26. All right, so as you sit there and you plunge the rapier into it, it cries out in pain. You can see a slow pool of blood forming underneath it, but it's still conscious and trying desperately to do something useful. Anything else you want to do with your turn?
No.
I have to find out if these guys actually have a movement speed that's not swim. Remarkably enough, when fighting killer whales, no one really thinks that, they're going to just take the water away. So that wasn't one of the things that I prepared.
Dick move, bro. Dick move.
They have a speed of 0 feet. So the one that you've been attacking is going to attack the monk with disadvantage because he's knocked prone. He can't get up. And that's a nat 20.
With disadvantage? Oh, man.
Disadvantage. What's his attack bonus? Does 11 hit you?
No, I'm at 17.
Okay, the other two are going to try and shuffle their way over. One's going to try to attack Arian. The other one's going to try to attack Samuel.
They do the truffle shuffle.
The one attacking Arian got a nat 1, so ignore it. 20 or even higher. Does a 20 hit you? Samuel?
Yeah, 20 hits me.
Okay. you take 21 piercing damage as this creature bites down on to your leg and draws blood.
Jesus.
And then just flops on the ground there for a little bit. Because it can't move.
Okay, that's a huge chunk.
However, alright, remind me of classes again. Carrick, what are you? You're a wizard.
Wizard.
John, you're a cleric. Kyron, you're a druid.
Yep.
Samuel, what are you again? You're a monk.
Monk.
Zoe, you're a
Paladin.
paladin. It's going to turn to Carrick. As it... What's it got first? It's actually not bad. It tries moving around the rather large cube and gets near-ish to Carrick, within about 30 feet of him. And Carrick, you start having issues concentrating. I need you to make a wisdom saving throw.
Have fun, guys. 11.
And you don't have anything about charm effects, do you? No, you're
I'm a
Goliath.
Goliath.
You are now under the control of the
Lord.
creature who whispers its name to you, Abeloth. Or Aboleth, sorry. And yeah, he's yours. Or you're his. And he ends his turn. Next up is going to be Zoe. What would you like to do?
I guess I too will go into Boxo Air. And as I'm swimming
pending.
over there, as I'm swimming there, I'm gonna cast Thunderous Smite on my sword as I'm going.
Okay. Because it's 100-foot cube on each side, you basically are just barely outside of it, so you can just kind of
Okay,
step
cool.
into it.
Well, as I step into it, I cast Thunder Smite on my Hope's End greatsword, and then I just take my 2 attacks and swing on the closest killer whale to me.
Okay, go ahead and make an attack roll.
Ugh.
Does she get advantage since it's melee?
Yeah, they're all prone, so
Well, the first one's a nat 20.
that's a miss.
That's when you divine smite right there.
Yes, smite,
Yeah.
smite. Smite.
And then an 18 for the second one.
Okay, both of those hit. Go ahead and roll
Okay.
damage, and you can
I'd-
choose to smite on either of those if you want. If you do it on the nat 20, you'll roll double the smite dice as well. Like all the
Okay.
dice you roll twice as many.
Okay, I'm gonna do it on the first one.
Okay. And I think that one would also have the thunderous smite. in it,
Yeah.
because it's the first thing that you hit. So all of that double dice.
Yeah, so that would be 4d8.
Well, she
And-
can cast divine smite at
and-
a higher level.
Yeah, it's 4. Well, yeah, if she's on the first level, it's 48 plus 8d6.
48. Hang on, math. 18.
Stay in school, kids.
The whale's dead. Let's just say that.
Essentially, for every level
Well,
spell
theoretically-
slot you burn, you'd get an extra 2d8 for your divine smite crit.
Well, no, it's a 1d8 pass.
Yeah, I'm just doing the double to shorthand it.
Oh, okay.
I broke out the calculator. Hang on.
Go for it. That's fine.
That'd be a 49 on the first one.
Uh, hold on, math. All right, it looks really rough, but it's still conscious.
Okay, and then on the second one is just straight up
2d6
2d6.
plus your strength, yeah.
12.
All right. So now you've got 2 killer whales that look like they are just adjacent to death.
I didn't kill one with all of that?
No, they had a little bit more. I didn't want to waste it on the one that was almost dead, because that would have been just a crap ton of damage that just went nowhere.
Oh, fine. Well, at least I decapitated somebody earlier.
It's near death. You took it from almost max hit points to near death. So that's something. Carrick, what's your
Okay.
highest level spell? What's your highest level spell level?
4th.
Okay, and what fourth level spells do you have prepared right now?
I have greater invisibility. Well, prepared. I didn't take greater. I have polymorph and blight.
Polymorph and Blight. You swim over to John and cast Blight.
Oh,
Oh,
Make a Constitution saving throw.
at least get half damage.
Heck, greater invisibility would have been a lot better.
12?
That's a fail. Okay.
Oh no.
Roll damage.
Oh.
13. That's 5. Luckily, I'm rolling like shit, so be glad. 21,
Right?
26. 29 necrotic.
Ooh.
Make a concentration check.
DC is 14 for the concentration check.
Mm,
The con save, so luck.
ooh, I just rolled a 2, but I have advantage on these.
Okay, you're a warcaster.
19.
Ooh.
Okay.
The cube of air stays, but you feel bad.
That is
Your
the
buddy just
Van
came
Hohenheim.
up and gave you the worst touch you've ever had.
My eyes went black. Energy.
Bad touch.
from your body.
You're relatively certain that you have got a really good case for HR.
Do I get a reaction to that or no?
You can take a reaction, depending on what the reaction is. What do you want to do?
Would I swim like right up to him? Because then
When a
he
creature
could,
within 5 feet of you that you can see hits you with an attack, you can use a reaction to
Blight is a
cause
touch
to make-
attack, correct, Carrick?
no, it's a range spell.
Oh, it's ranged, so he didn't get close enough. Sorry.
Curse you!
I'm like 30 feet away from you.
I just look at you like
watched as Carrick's eyes went black, and he extended his hands, and you watched this like black, dark, like inky like substance go and wrap itself around John, and everywhere it touched him, you saw blisters form. And John looks rough. That brings us back to top of the order, Chiron.
Where am I in relation to the squiddy thing?
What's your swim speed?
40.
You can get to it if you want.
Alright. I want to go try and at least attack it once or twice, if not
Go
possible.
for it. It's a large creature, so it's got some substance to it.
18.
As you sit there and bite into it, you make purchase. Go ahead and
2d8 plus 4.
It's got legendary actions.
Oh, good.
Yeah, go ahead and do damage.
It's 13.
Oh, it doesn't have that. Okay, cool. Cool. All right, you take a bite out of it, and it seems barely phased. What else you want to do?
So then right next to it, can I figure out what it is? Can you really-
Yeah, Kirik hasn't told you yet. Make history or arcana, whichever you prefer.
Well, that's a 1, so I don't know.
No idea. It's a big tentacle thingy, and it
So-
speaks telepathically.
Alright, I'm gonna... do you have any movement left?
It would have taken. You have about 10 feet left.
I'll swim to 10 feet away from it.
All right. It as a reaction, it takes an opportunity attack at you. 25.
No, that didn't hit.
You take 15 bludgeoning damage as it
Okay.
whips its tail around to smack you.
All right.
No, ignore that. I'm sorry. That was the wrong thing. It actually hit you with one of its tentacles. Give me a Constitution saving throw. Sorry.
All right. That's not 20.
You're fine, and you only took 12 damage instead of 15.
Okay.
However, at the end of your turn, it whips its tail around
Okay.
and attacks you with its tail. And that's a much lower number. 15?
That still hits.
All
I'm going by the
now
sharks.
You take 15 bludgeoning damage.
Oh crap. 30 math. Okay. I got it.
That's done. John, you don't feel very well.
I don't feel very well. I'm just trying to think what I can do. Sorry, I gotta figure out what these spells do. And one of them I really should know. I think I'm gonna do Cure Wounds on myself.
Okay. So you guys watch as John touches the blisters and burns he has on his body, and they start to slowly heal themselves. Go ahead and roll your hit points. Do you have anything you want to use your bonus action for?
No, I'm just gonna keep that wall up,
Okay.
or the Van Hohenheim Cube of Air patent pending.
Yeah.
And then at level 3.
Go ahead, I'll let you do that. I'm just gonna while you roll your hit points, I'm
Yep.
gonna move on to Samuel.
I'm going to punch the same shark or killer whale, and if it's still alive, punch it again.
Okay, go ahead and make your first attack roll.
Well, you make your attack, so.
Yeah, 21.
It's a hit. Go ahead and roll damage.
I can do math. 7.
Still alive, just barely.
Punch you with the second attack.
Same thing, same roll as last time.
It's
so-
dead. It had 1 hit point.
Okay. Then I will flurry of blows and punch the one that Zoe attacked.
Okay. Attack roll.
Nat 20.
Cool. Roll damage.
7 plus 4 is 11.
And this is all done with fists, right?
Yes.
All right. So you guys watch as Samuel, after getting bitten, he kind of jumps back, jumps into the air, comes down with his flying punch that pierces the skin of the killer whale lying on the floor, and then he rips out a beating vessel from inside the creature, and it just lies there limp. He then does this back flick, spins over himself, comes down with an axe kick, and kicks the other one, and you hear a crunching sound as vertebrae shatter, and the second one dies. I think you have one more attack, right?
Is the other one within, I don't know,
Sure.
monks being like 50 at this level?
400, like monks just move as far as they want. They were all pretty
Yeah.
close to each other.
The character sheet had a typo and it says 110. I'm pretty sure that's not right.
No, I have a 16th level monk and he does 55, so
Yeah,
It is a typo that I never went back and fixed. I'm sorry.
that's
it's all
fine.
good.
I think at this point you have either 40 or 45. So
Oh, another nat 20. I love this.
roll
Wow.
damage.
I love having advantage. Oh, yes. That is 12 plus 4. I can do math. 16. It's max damage.
Remember, that advantage is brought to you by Van Hohenheim Cube of Air. Van Hohenheim Cube of Air. When you need to breathe.
When you need to breathe. Or punch things underwater. Patent pending. Anything else you want to do with your turn?
Nah, I'm good.
Arian, there's one killer whale left and a big old tentacle creature.
I can't,
Okay, go for it.
Just give him a little poke.
I'm a CB21.
Remarkably enough, yes. For the big fat lump of lard flopping around on the ground when it's supposed to be swimming through. Like, killer whales are majestic creatures. Like, if you see it, like, did you see Free Willy? And it jumps over the wall, and then Michael Jackson, over like the River Jordan, you can be free. Yet this one is just sitting there going,
24
Jesus.
it looks real rough. And you could just see in its eyes, it's sitting there going, Mother. I once was a majestic creature. I swam the seas with pride. And now I flop here like a dead fish. Which I soon will be. Except for the fact that I'm a mammal. At least it's not suffocating, you jerk. Anything else you want to do, Arian?
Oh no.
Just kick it while it's down. No, that's fine. It turns to you and tries to bite you with the last of its noble breath. That's a D12.
No.
Does an 11 hit you?
No.
It even just sits there as like its last dying wish is like. Nope, didn't work. The aboleth starts moving around. It's going to. I keep forgetting it's got legendary actions. Okay.
That's fine. Keep forgetting that. We're cool.
Just for shits and giggles,
Right.
at the end of your turn, Arian, Carrick, you feel a sharp pain in your head as you take 10
10.
psychic damage.
I'm familiar with aboleths.
That does
Okay,
mean you
and
need
I-
to make another wisdom saving throw, though. And,
11 again. I'm still
and
controlled.
Kyron, you see the bite marks that you made on it start to close up.
Oh,
And
Yay.
then it is going to make 2 tentacle attacks against you. The first
Alright.
being a 15, I think. Does a 15 hit you, Kyron?
yes.
Okay. 12 bludgeoning damage and a Constitution saving throw, please.
Okay. Constitution 22.
All right. The second attack is 12.
Oh, that's just the armor class too.
All right. You take another 12 bludgeoning damage and another
And-
Constitution saving throw.
Well, the shark goes away.
Okay. Still need the con save, though.
Another 23.
Holy
22, sorry.
How are you getting these?
Plus 3 Constitution. I had rolled a 19.
Damn. Okay. And then it moves over because it's tired of playing with you. It goes over and makes a tentacle attack against John. 16.
Ooh.
You're
Your
like,
Tempest
"Sure."
player could probably.
That hits.
It hits. Okay. 12 bludgeoning damage.
Make your
12?
roll.
Yeah, 12 bludgeoning damage. So
Okay.
go ahead
You
and
have to
make your
make-
concentration check.
And then a con save.
Wow. I rolled 14.
Yeah, DC 10. Now I need a Constitution saving throw. That is not a concentration check. This is from the attack.
Ooh, that is an 8.
You are now diseased.
Ooh, fun! Can I retaliate? Because
He is
he
within-
did attack me.
You could, but he's 10 feet away.
Oh.
But he tentacled.
Yeah, he has real long tentacles. Does
You
it,
got
so
slapped.
the question I have:
No.
does the creature have to be within 5 feet of you, or no?
It has to be within 5 feet.
Yeah. So it's unfortunately
yeah.
it's 10
Yeah.
feet away. So.
No, I get it. It's a bastard.
That ends that turn. That brings us to Zoe. Zoe, what'd you like to do?
Are there any whales still alive?
There's one kind of regretting its life.
Okay. Then I'm just gonna skip on over and hit it with my sword.
Go for it.
Whoa, wish me.
As you see there, you can see the look in its eyes. Please kill me.
22?
22 hits. Flop.
I'm sure that hits
Flop.
it twice over, if not triple.
13.
Math is hard. All right, it's bleeding rather heavily, but it is still there.
Jesus Christ!
You have a second attack. You're a paladin.
Yeah, I'm gonna hit it again.
Go for it.
At advantage because it's prone.
21.
21's definitely a hit.
8. I swear to God, if it's not dead.
Still alive, but regretting its life.
Mother of... Oh.
Hey, guess
You're
what?
in the
Your
background.
wizard.
Hold me like the river Jordan.
Shut up,
And I
Shamu.
will say to thee, you are my friend.
I flip it off.
And your wizard rolled an 11 on their wisdom save, so he's still in control.
You actually don't get a wisdom save on your turn.
Yeah, I know. I mean, when I rolled it before.
Oh, yeah. I was like, you don't get one yet. So, yeah, Carrick, how many 4th level slots do you have?
One more.
You got one more? You look
I
at
just look at him
Chiron in his newly original form. And
great.
How
you
far
look
away
at him.
from me is he?
You swim within 30 feet of him.
Okay.
And you cast Blight.
Make a constitution saving throw.
Oh, wait, it's a con save? He's fine. He doesn't fail saving throws. The plus 3, he's never gotten below a 20.
What'd you roll?
An 8.
First time ever.
You were saying, Jody?
It would have been better for you to be diseased, man. I'm just going to let you know that right now.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, you're not gonna like this.
Oh, thanks.
43 points of necrotic damage.
Oh, what a dick.
So again, you watch as Carrick swims forward, breathing through his gills. He extends his hand, and this inky black sludge extends from it, wraps around you. Everywhere it touches you, it burns and makes blisters raise, and the skin die. Are you still conscious?
Yo, yeah, I'm conscious.
There, there may be words after this fight.
Poke me with a sharp stick for the love of God.
That brings us back.
I've
up
got something
to
better than that.
the top of the round, which is Chiron.
Oh,
Carrick has just cast a 4th level blight on you.
yeah,
What
I
would
felt
you
it.
like to do?
Believe me, I felt it. Crap. Jeez. I'm going to do the same thing at the creature, a 4th level blight.
Cool.
It's a blight off! Who's gonna blight better?
Oh, I totally missed that part.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Con save. Cool. What's your spell save DC?
15.
He makes a save.
Of course he does.
Go and roll damage.
What is? How much is that? What do you say?
8d8.
8d8.
88. Jeez. All right then.
Yeah, I rolled really
It's
good
a
when I hit
fourth
you.
level spell, folks.
Alright, he's 16.
Theoretically, you
19.
still have third level spells at your disposal as well, right?
Yeah.
So 23, 27, 32, 37, 39.
39, okay. Half of that is 18.
Yeah.
Oh,
All right,
no.
so
No, be 19.
19.
Wouldn't it?
Thank you. So you extend your hand, and again, this black liquid just goes out, envelops it, burns the creature. It looks pissed, and because of that, you are out of range. So it's going to take a tail swing at John, who is in range.
I still have a bonus action, don't I?
Oh, go ahead and go use your bonus action.
Yeah, because I wanted a bonus action, wild shape into a giant. No, can I do that one? Hang on.
Should be a third of your level, so I think challenge rating 2 is what you've got right now.
Yeah. A giant octopus.
Ha! Cool! So yeah, you cast Blight, and then actually, just for narrative purposes, you change into the octopus and then shoot your ink at it, which is the Blight spell. Because that's
Okay.
cool. And that ends your turn?
Yeah, because I can't stealth, because it's
Okay.
a full action, right?
Yeah, stealth is an action.
Okay.
The tail comes around to try and hit you, John, and rolls a natural 1, so ignore it. John, you're up. Yeah, big old aboleth, buddy.
I think I'm going to get into melee range with him.
Go for it.
Because why not, right?
Of course. Nothing bad happens in melee range.
All right, so I'm going
You said it in a menacing tone.
on second thought, I'm like, wait, no physics. And I just back up into the Van Hohenheim cube of air.
Okay.
And
You drop
I
about
look-
5 feet as you get in there and just go. Boom. As
And
you
then,
go out of its range, one of its tentacles reaches for you. That's a nat 20.
Oh.
So you take 19 bludgeoning damage. And give me a concentration check first.
This is the time when it goes away, when he
Yeah.
steps into it.
That War Mage is actually super useful.
Oh yeah, 17.
I mean, you're fine. And then make me another Constitution saving throw. Or actually, it doesn't really matter because you're already diseased.
You're super diseased. You're like a leper.
Yeah, you can't get this particular disease can't affect you again. So,
You caught a secondary infection.
Sweet.
so what do you want to do?
I want to walk up to the remaining killer whale and just be like, I'm really sorry, and then just bring the warhammer.
Like you were my brother, love me like a
Oh.
mother.
Really
Will
want to
you
watch
be
that movie
there?
I'm getting a Gallagher vibe from
Attack
this.
with advantage.
No, not right.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm going to bring the divine strike. I'm going to use divine strike. Bring the warhammer down. Yeah, so that's 23 to hit.
Yeah, you hit. Roll damage.
Your divine strike is just with every hit because you're a cleric.
Because yeah, which means it's infused with the power of lightning. So that's 5, 7. Yeah, I do 9 damage to it
You
with
hear,
thunder. I bring thunder down onto it.
in your mind, you hear, "Thank you." It explodes This majestic creature. They've lived for thousands of years, tens of thousands of years. They swim hundreds of miles, you know, in packs, and you just leave them flopping like a dead fish on the floor. No, it's fine. It's totally fine.
John's Cube Air.
I agree. That's Van Hohenheim, Cube of Air, patent pending. I grab my holy symbol and say a moment of, or say a brief prayer, and that ends my turn.
Michael Jackson stops playing in the background. I should have looked to see if I could find that song on the damn playlist. Anything else you want to do with your turn after brutalizing the fish? The mammal, sorry.
Nope, that'll end my turn.
Alright, that brings us to Samuel. The only thing left is the Aboleth. And technically Carrick, who's kicking the shit out of you guys.
I haven't noticed that. Hasn't hit me yet. So I'm going to go up to the Aboleth and just start pummeling it. And my fists do count as magic, if that matters.
Okay. Since it is in the water, you'll have disadvantage on all these attacks.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, please be the lower. Okay, so 13 plus 7, so 20 to hit.
20 hits?
And then this one I'm going to spend a key point and make it a stunning strike.
Okay. What's your DC?
It is, let me go to the right PDF, 15.
It makes its saving throw.
Alright, the first one's 5 points of damage. Can I do stunning strike multiple times?
Yeah, as long as you have enough key.
Okay, because I only spent 3, so...
Yeah, I, when I play my monk, every strike is a stunning strike until it's stunned.
9 plus 7, so 16 to hit.
As you hit it, you bounce off of its rubbery hide. By the way, I need a Constitution saving throw from you, please.
Oh, from me?
Mm-hmm.
Where is my Constitution? Oh, it's that number. Okay, 17.
You are fine. So your second attack doesn't hit.
Alright, let's spend another key point, do flurry of blows.
Go for it.
I'm gonna spend all my key points in this turn, I swear. Okay, 16 plus 7, so 23 to hit.
Definitely a hit.
Alright, in case this actually works, so stunning strike.
It fails. It is stunned until the end of your next turn.
Okay,
However,
3 plus 1.
yeah, go ahead and roll your damage. What was the damage?
7.
And I need a Constitution saving throw.
I can do math. 9 plus 7 is 16?
Bigger than you need. Cool. Now that it's stunned, you have disadvantage from the water, but advantage from the stun, so it's a straight roll for your next attack.
Okay. 18 plus 7.
Yeah, hits.
7 again. 2 key points left.
And one more,
Oh, yeah.
Con save.
con save, sorry.
This one's a 14.
You're good. That brings us to Arian.
So I have my own time now.
Yeah, all the
Yeah.
whales are gone. Majestic creatures, just big piles of blubber and blood.
And one wizard who you don't know what's been doing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and you have a wizard that's randomly attacking you guys.
I mean, to be fair, we were used to that from the Sphinx fight. You just went invisible and ran around.
We're really not building a lot of trust with your party here. I'm just going to put that out there. This is not a judgment against anyone. It's just a fact.
Hey, this dice has rolled a 5 each time I've gone to make that wisdom save.
So what do you do at Arian?
I'm a talking creature.
You have advantage on the attack roll.
Oh yeah. Ooh, better. 18.
That's a hit. Roll damage, sneak attack, all that fun rogue shit.
18. Whoever 13. 17, 20, 21, 25.
All right, Constitution saving throw for me, please.
I am my console. Not 20, 23 total.
You are totally fine. That brings us to the killer whales are dead. You monsters.
Not even dead in the water, dead on the ground.
Aboleth is stunned, but gets all its legendary actions back that it can't take until it gets unstunned. Zoe, you are up.
Okay. I'm going to quickly cast Branding Smite on Hope's End. So I was getting tired of the Thunderous Smite.
Okay.
And then I'm going to skip out of the Cubo Air.
Okay.
I say skip. It's more like dive out of it. And go after Carrick.
Okay. You're
Are
very
you
sexy as you do it.
You realize I'm a wizard and you're actually gonna kill me.
Well, it was nice knowing you.
Make your attack roll.
One shots are so
Is
fun.
it disadvantage?
Yes, it's a disadvantage.
Yeah, it'd be a disadvantage.
17?
Okay, that hits.
Roll down.
Alright. 14.
Alright.
Are you still conscious?
Yeah, I'm still conscious.
Make a wisdom saving throw.
Dear God, 12.
12 total.
Yeah.
You are still that Aboleth is like your best buddy. Like you guys go drinking every weekend.
Make your second attack.
Alright, you said so.
Lightly.
I'm sensing a theme with boss battles where Carrick will do nothing.
16.
16 hits. Roll your damage.
15?
I'm still conscious. 21.
There you go.
After getting hit twice by a scantily clad paladin, you finally kind of blink yourself back. You're like, what the hell happened?
I am at 8 hit points. Let's go.
It is your turn, Carrick.
Okay.
Can you
So,
cast Blight on John? No, I'm kidding.
no, I'm
Don't
not.
hit me back.
I kind of pat your head. I cast haste, and then I swim away.
Are you casting haste on her or yourself?
Her.
Okay.
Zoe, you are now hasted.
Woohoo!
That brings us back to top of the order. Kyron.
All right, I'm gonna go because the thing is still stunned, correct?
It is still stunned. It'll be stunned until the end of Samuel's turn.
All right, I'm going to. What is the do a melee attack with a tentacle?
Go for it.
Plus 5 is 16.
16 misses.
Oh, great. And I get one more, or is it? Probably just to get one.
If the form has multi-attack, you can use multi-attack. So I don't have the stat block of the octopus in front of me. I have
just
a
says-
monster manual in front of me, though. I mean,
Yeah.
it might have it in it.
It just says melee attack. It doesn't say anything about multi-attack, so I'm guessing it's just one.
Yeah, it'll. If it has multi-attack, it'll.
Then that's it. Then I will not do anything else.
I'm gonna real quick actually look it up. Giant octopus. Yeah. So your action is either your tentacle attack or your ink cloud. So.
Okay. Yeah.
Could I have swam into the bubble of air?
Sure.
Okay, I have done that.
All right. That brings us to John.
Okay, I'm gonna look around. Look around at everybody. See, there's
I'm like, sorry, John.
some wounds around. And I'm gonna do as a bonus action mass healing word at level 2.
Okay.
So it's 2d4 plus.
Isn't that, that's higher than the level?
I think it's 3rd level spell.
Yeah, I think that's at least a third level.
Oh,
spell.
sorry, it is level 3.
Okay.
Never mind. I will do that at level 3 then. Or no. Yeah, level 3. So it'll be 1d4 plus 5.
Okay. And you're close enough
For-
to get everybody.
Yeah.
So go ahead and roll the hit points, and everyone will just take the same hit points.
4. So everybody gets 9 hit points back.
Sweet.
You guys
So
are
that
doing great. As John
Question.
just... Yeah.
I'm at max hit points with the octopus. Does that affect my druid hit points? Does that affect?
Unfortunately, it does not. It would only affect
Okay.
the hit points of your octopus.
Okay, I was just curious.
So for my action, I would like to move the Van Hohenheim cube of air towards this thing.
Okay. It's now flopping on the ground.
Yes.
Along with me, I'm sure, right?
Yeah.
But octopi can kind of move on the ground, so
I think they can hold their breath for a long time as
An
well.
hour.
Yeah.
Yeah. Octopuses they're fine. You're fine.
So how far can you move it as an action?
That is an excellent question. Because I have all of my spells open except there it is. It really doesn't say. I don't know if I'm assuming I can.
It says you can repeat the same effect or choose a different one as an action.
So theoretically,
Choose
you'd
from
have
any
to
of them.
create a new. You wouldn't technically be able to move it as much as you'd create a new version of it at the same time. Let's say you can do it 30 feet because that's your speed, right?
Yep, that would be
Choose
my
easy
speed.
numbers. 30 feet. So the aboleth is kind of on the edge of the cube, but it's in the cube.
Okay.
Anything else you want to do?
That'll be my turn.
All right, that goes to Samuel.
Would I not have disadvantage anymore?
Yeah, you technically have advantage straight up now.
Okay.
Because you're no longer underwater.
and it's stunned until the end of this turn.
So 24 to hit.
That misses. It's so weird. Like you just rolled too high.
Uh,
Roll damage. Are you
If I-
you gonna try and stun again?
yeah.
7 and 6, 13.
I think it's 15.
Okay, it is stunned until the end of your next turn.
Okay.
Roll
And then
damage.
the second one was a 19 plus 7, so
Yeah, so they're both hit.
it's 8 plus 8, so 16. And I'll save my last key point to try and
And I
stun it
need-
again next turn.
2 concentration checks.
What is my constitution? Plus 3, so 12 on the first.
That's all I need.
Okay.
Remember that you are diseased for the next 2 hours. And as soon as that happens, you start gasping for air. You currently cannot breathe.
Alrighty.
Now you do have a bonus action if you want to make another attack, and you still have your movement.
I'm gonna save my key point for.
As a monk, you have 2 different things you can do. You have your martial arts attack, where when you take the attack action, you can use a bonus action to make 1 attack. Or
Oh, okay.
you can flurry of blows and make 2 attacks by burning a key point. So if you just use your bonus action, it doesn't take a key point, but it's only 1 attack.
Okay, no, yes. Stillness of mind does nothing, so... Alright, I'm good.
Okay. Are you gonna stay stay where you are? Are you gonna move or anything? Because right now you are currently suffocating.
Oh, yeah, do I need to... Am I in the water still?
You're in air.
You're in air right now and you are suffocating.
Okay. I'm gonna go back into the water.
You start breathing normally. But you have to spit out the seaweed type stuff that you were chewing in order to breathe normally.
Okay.
That ends his turn. Arian, he's stunned. He's flopping on the floor. What do you want to do?
Got him.
Go for it.
Will be 24.
Definitely hits. Go ahead and roll damage.
Will be around 26.
Okay.
It's
looking real rough. It's bleeding pretty heavily. Anything else you want to do with your turn?
No.
It's time for the killer whales. They're dead. And the Aboleth is stunned. So that brings us to Zoe.
You have 3 attacks.
Yeah.
Carrick
So-
is right in front of you, and he just touched you last turn. I mean, you feel good, but I mean,
I'm gonna say, are you back?
I can't breathe because I can't breathe because I switched concentration, so I'm just like,
Okay. Then I turn around and go back into Cubo Air. I'm just going back and forth. And then step 1, Hunter's Mark.
okay.
Step 2, 3 attacks with Hope's End
Go for it.
on
You have advantage.
your jackass.
Go for it.
18.
Definitely hit.
That's the first one. 24.
Another hit.
20.
Another hit. Roll damage.
Lordy gee whiz. Okay.
it's like 3d6 each hit.
4. So that'd be 10 on the first one,
Okay.
19 on the second one.
How do you want to do this?
Yes! I'm just gonna be really immature about it, and I'm just gonna like stab it like an angry wife who just found her husband cheating on her.
So you guys watch as Zoe twirls through the water as if she's twirling around a stripper pole. Comes down,
Yes.
perfect 3-point landing. Walks over, like, kind of crawls along the floor, very sexy, like, comes over, takes one big swing and goes, ah, as she cuts into it. Takes another big swing, and just over and over and over. And at first you guys are like, whew, it's dead. And then it keeps going. Like, for 5 minutes, she's just over and over. It's mush. And she just keeps stabbing the thing.
Until my haste runs out and
Yeah.
she goes lethargic.
She just kind of glazes over for about 6 seconds, wakes up, starts stabbing it again.
At this point, I'm in the air bubble because I can't breathe in the water as I'm doing.
So as you guys are sitting there, you guys feel this rumbling sound.
It's a magical rumble.
No, that's just the sound. Every time you get to a crystal and you're not dying, it just sounds like this. You don't know why. It just does. So as you guys are sitting there, you feel this rumbling sound, and then the entire room starts to shift and move. It turns upside down, and you feel this rush as it starts rising from the ocean. As all the water drains out of it, Samuel, you lose your ability to breathe and start suffocating. What is your Constitution modifier?
+3.
+3. You have 3 minutes before you will start. You'll lose consciousness and have to start making death saves.
Is there any water still around us, or is it completely gone?
There's fountains and things like that around the outside the room that you guys remember. So if you want to rush out of the room, you can do that.
Yeah, I'm just gonna run to the fountain and just dunk my head in there like I'm bobbing for apples.
Okay, so you guys watch as Samuel goes out, and as you guys are kind of recovering from the fact that this entire thing has just sunk, or is just raised from the bottom of the ocean, you guys look up and you see the crystal kind of floating, and then it drops. And you watch it fall 50, 100 feet, 150, 200 feet, 250, and smash into the altar below it, and shatter into 1,000 pieces.
God damn it.
Oh, I'm sorry, I just love John's face.
It's not fair. So as you guys sit there kind of mourning, a very similar thing happens where 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of the shards of the crystal are perfectly formed and start glowing on the ground. What would you guys like to do?
Nothing,
I
because
would
I'm
like to-
trying not to suffocate.
Yes, Samuel, you have no idea this is going on.
Yeah.
I turn back into Carrick and I hand a flask to Chiron and to John, and I'm just like, sorry about the blight.
With one of my tentacles, I just grab it and hold it.
I cast Lesser Restoration on Samuel. Is that word? It says it can cure or end a disease.
That specific one it does work on, yes.
Okay.
John, you have noticed that your skin is covered in this like mucus-like film, and you just feel really, really wrong being out of the water.
I'm gonna cast Lesser Restoration on myself as well.
Nothing happens. After about 10 minutes, we'll come back to that because 10 minutes haven't passed yet.
So if my disease is gone, I assume I have to. I'll be drowning now.
Yeah, so as she sits there, she puts her hand on your back. You're breathing the water, and then you get you swallow a lungful of water, and you're like cough it up as you get out of the fountain.
Oh, that's like eating hot, cold with sensitive teeth, man. Not cool.
So the
I start gathering up the.
Okay.
I start gathering up the shards.
As you
Yeah,
do
it's
that,
okay.
you see this spirit of a woman kind of appear on the altar and turns to all of you and goes, "Warriors of the crystal, I impart my power. Please save this world from utter destruction." These warriors, and as she waves her ethereal hand, the crystals kind of rise up, will aid you as they once aided me. Barbarian, bard, ranger, sorcerer, and warlock. Use their powers well. and then she fades from existence.
I drop back to Chiron,
Okay.
Octopus, and I beeline it for the one she's called Barbarian.
Okay.
The intelligence of 5.
I rush forward for the bard.
I'll take the sorcerer, so I have an option that isn't punch.
I'm gonna take the warlock.
Oh,
And then I turn to Zoe and be like, "Don't suppose you'd want to trade this cleric for that warlock?"
You know what? I will.
Yes. So I turn out of the
They become
out of my
trading
cleric
cards.
form
Now,
and grab the warlock.
as long as you're not actively using the crystal, you can, like, even mid-combat, you can toss them between each other. It takes an action to throw it to someone else, but a bonus action to switch between crystals. So,
What's the remaining crystal?
I have no idea. Is Bard, Barbarian, Ranger, Sorcerer, Warlock.
There's a Dragon Knight too, wasn't there? Or somewhere I have that.
Not in this group.
Oh,
There's only
sorry.
5 for this, so
Yeah, there's
Oh.
only 5 crystals here.
Oh, okay. I didn't get one. Yeah.
Sorry.
Still waiting on my mystic. Damn.
I turned into the Tiefing warlock.
Okay. As you guys kind of look it over and everything, John, you take six acid damage. As your skin has started to crack and peel from the dryness.
Oh, this
I-
is not good.
I
I
am-
go and leap into the fountain.
Yeah.
Okay. You feel a little bit better, but you get the idea that being out of the water for too long is very unhealthy for you now.
This is not good.
And that is where we are going to end it for tonight. Thank you for those of you that tuned in. If you're confused again, this is just, it was supposed to be a one-shot. It's running a little bit longer than anticipated. But the next time we run it should be the finale, because they've only got 2 crystals left to fail to save. So,
spoiler alert. Sorry.
and who knows, maybe next time, Carrick will be able to kill them all before, the paladin comes and almost kills him. I mean, there's always
Or
that.
actually do something in a boss fight.
He did a lot. You did, like, what, 60 or 80 damage
Yeah.
to your own party. But I mean,
I'm
Yeah,
officially
on the
in
wrong
love with my
side.
paladin. I love my paladin.
I have a +6 to wisdom saving throws, and I was rolling like 5s and 6s.
anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. I do run D&D games every week here on Tuesday nights. The weeks that I'm not running, again, this is a special, little adventure to celebrate their 1 year. Not next week, but the week after, we're going to finish this story, and we will go back to the Tyranny of Dragons. Next week, I will be running my custom D&D campaign with a completely different group. And this weekend, Saturday, is International Tabletop Day at noon Pacific time. I will actually be running a parody campaign that I've been running. I think this will be the 4th year. I've run an adventure every International Tabletop Day since its inception, and it just gets sillier and sillier every year. So tune in to twitch.tv/the All for Geek Alliance at noon Pacific time on Saturday if you want to see that. Otherwise, that's all for me today, and I will see you guys next time, all right? Bye-bye!